Good evening and welcome to Ray Skillman Stadium for tonight's Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference matchup between the number 2 Center Grove Trojans and the number 6 Pike Red Devils. Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Conrad along with Ted Kitchell and Rick Embry. Ted, you look at the mid-conference now, and I tell you, each Friday night it's against usually a top 10 opponent, and tonight no different. You got Center Grove at number 2 against Pike, who ranks number 6 this week. But again, just another big night of Center Grove Trojan football.
Yeah, I think everybody needs to understand that last comment you made, Pike, number 6. I think everybody thinks of Pike as a real powerful school, especially in the basketball world, but you don't think too much of them on the football. It was only a few years ago they were playing in the state championship game against Carmel. And I think that everybody needs to really focus in here because Center Grove has done something to start the year. That their two biggest foes over the past 10 or 12 years have always been Warren Central and Carmel. Ben Davis right in there. But they've not only beaten those two teams in the first 2 out of the first 3 games, but they beat them on their home fields and pretty decisively. So I think that obviously the coaching staff's biggest worry this week is just making sure that they don't get ahead of themselves, the players. I mean, obviously the coaches know how good Pike is. They've watched them. And Pike has put up some impressive numbers against some very good teams. Cincinnati Moeller, I lived in Cincinnati for 10 or 12 years, and Moeller is always not only the best team around Cincinnati, it was one of the best teams in the country, and they played them nose to nose and could have easily won that football game. And a Tech team that only gave up 6 points to Carmel, they went and scored 30 on them last week. So I know that Eric Moore has to be very, very concerned coming in against this team here tonight.
And Ted, you made a reference to last week's game, Center Grove winning at Carmel. It had been since 2007, the last time the Trojans beat Carmel during the regular season. But for Coach Eric Moore in this program, just a very successful weekend. Not only did they win the Friday night varsity game, but the Trojans also won the junior varsity contest on Saturday against Carmel and the freshman contest at Carmel on Saturday. So a clean sweep of Carmel, and I talked to Coach Moore and also Center Grove Athletic Director John Zwitt, and they believe it's the second time that Center Grove has ever done that, to sweep Carmel at all 3 levels. But again, it's just a real big confidence booster for this Center Grove program.
Yeah, everything's moving in the right direction. Obviously, Coach Moore has to be extremely happy, not only with his squad out here and the way his seniors have gotten everybody ready to play in each and every game so far, but he's really got the ball rolling down here on the south side, from the junior highs all the way through junior varsity. And, the more prepared mentally you can be to play football and getting ready for this type of system that he wants to run, the better off you're going to be. And I think, there's no way that we are a more talented team when we go to play Ben Davis, Warren Central, or Carmel. But I think that we are a more prepared team and we are a smarter team. And so far it has paid huge dividends, and I think that it will continue to pay. And it's just a matter of mentally being ready to play, an entire football game tonight because you're facing a very good football team in Pike.
Tonight's pregame show is being presented by Global Financial Solutions. Global Financial Solutions President Bob Hoffman has been providing financial services in the Greenwood Center Grove community for 12 years. Bob specializes in investments, retirement planning, rollovers, 401k, 403b, insurance, money management, and annuities. Contact President Bob Hoffman at 317-888-1555 for all your investment and retirement needs. Global Financial Solutions. Again, number 2, Center Grove is 2-0 in the conference with road wins over Warren Central and Carmel. Tonight, the Trojans host number 6 Pike for their first home league game of the season. Our Global Financial Solutions pregame show continues after this timeout. This is Center Grove Trojan football.
Our most successful tent sale ever has ended. At Ray Skillman, we've traded for a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner cars, trucks, and SUVs, domestics and imports. Go south and save thousands. Don't miss this opportunity to take advantage of these one-owner tent sale trade-ins. Only at Ray Skillman Buick GMC Truck and Southside Imports, just 1/2 mile north of the Greenwood Park Mall on US 31 South. Hurry, the sale is on, and they won't last long. And Ray Skillman has over 1,200 other certified used cars to choose from.
Appetizers, gentlemen.
I'll start with the steak tartare.
And you, sir?
I'll have the same. But hold the tartare sauce.
The tartar sauce? Really?
I don't like it.
The more you save on insurance, the more you'll have for football. Drivers who switch their home and auto to Allstate saved an average of $503 a year. Are you in good hands?
Ooh, creamy brulee.
Tonight, the Center Grove Trojans hosting the Pike Red Devils for a Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference game. We're just about 20 minutes from kickoff of tonight's conference clash. Tonight's Center Grove football pregame show is being presented by Global Financial Solutions. Global Financial Solutions President Bob Hoffman has been providing financial services in the Greenwood Center Grove community for 12 years. Contact Bob Hoffman at 317-888-1555 for all your investment and retirement needs. Global Financial Solutions. Also tonight's special night, it is Center Grove Bantam Football League recognition night. And we've already seen some of the youngsters run across the track right in front of us here on the sideline. And we want to welcome now to the broadcast the Center Grove Bantam Football League Board President, Bo Barrett. And Bo, special night. It's always special when the youngsters get out here and have a chance to watch the Trojans, especially against a great opponent tonight in Pike.
Absolutely. Bantam night's always a great night. We've got probably 400 or 500 youth out here, and just generates a lot of extra energy. A lot of these kids just dream of being here and playing on Friday nights, and it's just a great night all around.
Bo, you're no stranger to the Bantam Football League, but this is your first year as board president. Just tell us how things are going for you and the program this year.
So far, we're having a great season, Kevin. Our numbers are down just a little bit from prior years, but we got a lot of kids back in the program. Things are going real good. We've had great weather. Just once again, just always want to reiterate how much we appreciate the support that Coach Moore gives our league. He's been out and seen all of our teams play so far this year. So from top to bottom, it's just a great group of kids, great organization.
And Bo, you go and talk to other communities or other high school football coaches, and they always talk about the Center Grove feeder program being one of the best, not only in the state, but also in the Midwest. And I think that is so important. You really see the involvement, like you said, of Coach Moore and his staff, and the Bantam program just does a great job in getting the kids prepared for middle school football, and of course middle school doing a great job preparing them for high school.
Yep, and it just couldn't happen without a lot of generous, hardworking volunteers, and again, it starts all the way at the top. Coach Moore's done a great job of instilling a culture, and all the coaches, all the board members, we all buy into his program. And it doesn't run itself. There's a lot of hours put in down at that program by volunteers, board members, coaches, but we all buy into what he's doing here at the high school, and so I think that's why it's successful as it is.
Also, Pike head coach Derek Moyer said it best a few years ago. It's like down here in Center Grove, kids go to school in kindergarten to tie their shoe and things of that nature, and the next day they're learning to run the wing tee offense at the Bantam program.
Well, that is one thing that we do teach them from the rookie division on, is how to set up and run that wing tee. And again, we just buy into the philosophy that Coach Moore has preached, and it really does help him. By the time those kids get into middle school, high school, they've been running that offense for 10 years, and he can then focus on some of the more fine-tuned technique things as opposed to having to teach these kids new stuff every year. They come in knowing what they're going to be doing.
Also, Bo, you've partnered with USA Football. They've done a great job as far as coming to the Bantam League and really doing a good job training your coaches, your assistant coaches, and even the parents on the correct way to play the sport of football.
Yeah, that's one thing we really focused on this year. Obviously, you see in the headlines concussions, safety, and all that, and we just wanted to be very proactive this season, partnered up with USA Football and their Heads Up Football initiative. Every single one of our coaches down at the Bantam League, head and assistant, anyone that's instructing our kids has gone through a level 1 certification through the Heads Up program. Pretty intensive, about a 2-hour online course that every one of them had to take and pass a quiz. So it gives us a lot of comfort knowing that everybody that's teaching our kids down at the Bantam League knows the correct, proper fundamentals. They know the signs of a concussion. They know the signs of heat exhaustion. All the little things that you might take for granted, we can feel comfortable that all of our coaches are all doing the right things.
One final question, Bo, coming up real soon, hard to believe, October the 6th. It'll be a Super Bowl Sunday right here at Ray Skillman Stadium. All the Bantam football teams that make it through the tournament, they'll play the championship games right here at Ray Skillman Stadium. That's always a special day for the youngsters and also for the parents.
Yeah, it's just outstanding. That gives those kids something to really shoot for throughout the season, and then the tournament is to know that if they can make it through and get to that championship game, they get to play a game here on the high school turf. And I know kids that are playing here on Friday night have fond memories of playing in Bantam and playing in that championship game here at the high school, and it's something those kids will always remember. So, it's a very, very neat experience here on October 6th. Can't wait for it.
All right, Center Grove Bantam Football League Board President Bo Barrett, thank you, Bo, for your time here on the pregame show. Have a great evening here and watching the game.
Thanks, Kevin.
Bo Barrett, everybody. Again, it is Center Grove Bantam Football League night. A lot of the youngsters already had a chance to run across the sideline here, and we'll have some more coming up at halftime. And then also the middle school teams here on hand tonight from Center Grove Middle School North and Central. They're now out on the field. You can see them making a tunnel outside the helmet. So, again, just a great night of football, great atmosphere. And now Rick Embry joins me here on the pregame show. And, Rick, let's take a little closer look at tonight's matchup, Center Grove and Pike. It's been a couple of years since the two teams last played. Last time they played, it was a non-conference game. They played one game here and one game at Pike. And Center Grove did win both contests, but what I remember the most, it was Center Grove being very, very physical defensively, and for Pike, they're more of a spread type offense, and I don't think they cared so much a couple of years ago with that physical play that the Center Grove brought.
Yeah, and I think people have talked about the new additions to the MIC this year, and for the most part, I mean, everybody's talked about LC and Lawrence Central obviously winning the state championship last year, but Pike's kind of been that second citizen or whatever that joined behind LC, and everybody's talking about their football program. But I mean, I think tonight will be Center Grove's biggest challenge to date so far.
All right, coming up next, my conversation with Center Grove head coach Eric Moore. Tonight's Center Grove football pregame show is being presented by Global Financial Solutions. That's the Center Grove Trojan football.
Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. He's got SUVs, crossovers, long bed, short bed, flatbed, dump cab, crew cab, cinder cab, half ton, 3/4 ton, 1 ton, high cube van, cargo van, diesel engine, gas in stock, or custom in the color you want, man. Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. Ray Skillman's got your truck, man.
I'm your hot water heater. You hardly know I exist. That's too bad. Because if my pressure relief valve gets stuck... We hot water heaters can transform into rocket-propelled wrecking balls. And if you got the wrong home insurance coverage, it's your bank account that might explode. So get Allstate.
Good hands, good home. Make sure you have the right home protection. Talk to an Allstate agent.
Welcome back to Center Grove Football. I'm Kevin Conrad, now joined by the head coach of the Trojans, Eric Moore. Coach, first of all, congratulations. What a tremendous weekend last weekend. It started on Friday night. Go to Carmel and get a nice road win against a very good Carmel team.
Yeah, it's been a while since like 2007 since we've won at Carmel. It's great to have the copper kettle. It's back there in the office. Probably should have brought it out. Maybe we can do that sometime. We have the gorgeous copper kettle trophy back in our hands where it belongs, in the good CG football trophy case. But great football game, unbelievable crowd. It was neat seeing all the net pictures and overhead helicopter pictures of the crowd. All that red versus all that blue. A lot of controversy. Our kids really sustained their effort the entire game. We only had about a 2-minute flaw there. Other than that, we were physically we were into it all night long. Mentally, we made a couple mental mistakes, but really fought back and really we got ahead and never give it up. So I'm just real proud of the total effort. You can just tell that means so much to our community and our kids to beat Carmel and possess that copper kettle.
Coach, we got to talk about the big highlight. Max Norris, 99-yard touchdown run. It's probably 101, 102 by the time he got that handoff. He was a couple yards deep, but what a fantastic way to start the game.
Well, 104 yards, if you want to be exactly right. And who's the coach that'd be crazy enough to hand the ball that deep? Well, that's what our offense is. Like I tell people, the great thing about our wing T is when it's working so well, you can run on the 1 yard coming out or the 1 yard going in. It's the same plays. So we're very comfortable with what we do no matter where it is on the field. And Max is a really good story. Max Norris has fought some injuries the last couple of years. He got on the field as a freshman a little bit, and his nickname is the Rocket. And the Rocket got off pad for a while, And now it's obviously that the Mad Max, the Rocket Man, is back on track and back on the launching pad again. Just did a great job. He's got great track speed. He's a kid that really works hard in the offseason for track and field. And those kids out there that play those special positions, you can see what track speed will do for you. It's never going to help you, and it's never going to hurt you. It might help you not as much in all situations, but it's really helped him. He is fast, and it's made him even faster. But the great thing about Max was I sort of challenged him before the game of, we sort of get to this point every year, and we don't have you anymore. Something happens. You've really not had a chance to perform after week 2 of the season. There's always something that goes wrong, and tonight's your big stage. That's I think, and I really truly felt this, and I told him in front of the whole team, I really feel you're going to have a big night. Now maybe I should take my money and go to Vegas and make predictions like that. It'd be more money wise for me, but it was awesome to see a kid. We showed a little belief in him, showed a lot of belief in himself, and then he was just amazing when he got on the field, and it was fun to watch, as you saw.
Coach, in the second half, Carmel came out, scored it quickly. You needed a defensive stop, and you guys get a turnover. The defense played big for you in the second half.
Yeah, they did. Well, they started out with the drive, 80-yard drive down our throat, and then we got on the field and got a first down. Then, if you can imagine, we got a penalty. I know that's hard to believe that we would have incurred a penalty the other night. We got a penalty, and it set us back after getting a first down, and we lost a little bit of our spirit there. And then the defense came on, and that wasn't a kid that dropped the ball. That was a Trojan. Pendergraft pulled it out of his hand, and we caused a turnover, and that sort of ignited our team, and we got some first downs, and we ended up knocking it in. So, again, we really faced a lot of adversity, from being on the – Kevin, we were on the 2-inch line. You can't even hardly see where the ball was snapped. We were so deep in trouble. And to get out of there, and yeah, it was one play, but the kids still had to make it. And then to be down there again – the next possession, and Max run into like a pinball. I told him it's a good thing you're pointing in the right direction. You might went out the wrong gate there. But again, he breaks it open, and that's 2 90-yard runs, 100-yard runs from one athlete within a half-hour period. And that kind of heat, that just shows he's in great condition. He's got great strength, and just real happy and real proud for him. And it's just a great win for the Trojans overall. As we finish out the game, there was some great hits, and we tackled Roberts on the sideline, for a no gain one time on a bubble screen. And then how about Alex Ackerman fielding punts all night long? Probably saved us 20 yards catching, or 60 yards in catching wild punts that he caught and got 4 or 5 with, and 10 on one. But the big one was when he covered the punt and smoked the kid, and got a big tackle. Just real proud of my kids, the way they've stood up. And, again, I still think we're a little better than an average football team. We're not real pretty to look at, but they performed Friday night. I'm real proud of them.
Also last weekend, Coach, you capped off the weekend with 2 more wins on Saturday. Your junior varsity team beat Carmel, and your freshman team beat Carmel, so a clean sweep against Carmel, maybe the first time in school history.
I believe it's the second. Maybe the second or the third, but no more than 3. Maybe that might have been the third or second. Yeah, and it was awesome to see our kids, their JV team battle. Those 2 JV teams Saturday on this field could have beat most high school teams. That's how well the game was played. And the freshmen had a great battle back at Carmel. Had some penalties, if you can believe that. But fought through that and made a great win there as well. So, yeah, 3-0. We love it.
Coach, got to move on to tonight's game. Pike doesn't get any easier. Coach Derek Moyers does a great job with this Pike program. Just your thoughts about hosting the Red Devils here tonight.
Well, yeah, Derek does a great job as a coach, and wow, does he have some personnel to work with. Pike's always been like a sleeping giant to me. I never figured out why they haven't won 8 state titles, because they sure got talent. Tonight, I got it right behind us. We're figuring out a way to put a curtain across the field, because I'm afraid if my team watches them warm up, we may not come back out on the field. As a coach, I'm just going to look this direction the whole time, because they're huge size-wise, and they have great athletes, and they're all over the field. Their quarterbacks does an unbelievable job of throwing the football around. They got Division I receivers, Division I running backs, Division I linebackers. Their secondary tackles well. They got good schemes, too. They run a really good offensive scheme for their personnel, and they execute it very well and do a good job. And their defense runs a 3-4 slant defense, and they do a good job with that as well, too, because they got 8 guys that can run outside the top 3 on the front. So, the kicking game is going to be important. Since we're at Wrigley Field right now with this wind, maybe that'll help us. We can tilt the field maybe on them a little bit, and that's going to be huge.
Coach, also tonight's special night, Bantam night, middle school night. You're going to have a lot of youngsters in the crowd tonight, but also they're going to get a chance to come out here on the field and be recognized.
You always love that. That's like Christmas to me when I see all those little kids run through the tunnel. I had a son do that as well, and as you do, And it's just a neat thing, even though that they're not playing in a game, it gets them to be around the Trojan spirit and see what it feels like to be in front of that many people and to want to be out. The whole common bond is let's all be out here together and want to be on this field as a community and have a successful night.
Final question, Coach. Just key factors tonight. What you got to get accomplished here to get this conference win?
Well, key factor is no big plays for them. If they're going to score on us, make them score in 12, 13 play drives. And then we got to go get a big play here and there. We got to turn the kicking game around like I talked about, get upside down, use this wind a little bit. We need some good Trojan field luck. I'd rather be lucky than good any day. And we're going to have to, like I told the kids Thursday, Sunday to Wednesday, it's a very complicated ball game. Now it all goes down to blocking and tackle. We got to block and tackle them. They got to block and tackle us. So let's hope our X's can tackle their O's a little better on this Friday the 13th with the Red Devils in the house. Maybe we bring them some mojo on that, but don't know for sure. But it's a good night to be playing football, and everybody come out to the stadium, to Ray Skillman Stadium, and watch the Trojans get after it.
All right, Coach Eric Moore, thanks for your time. Good luck tonight against the Red Devils.
Thank you, and go Trojans.
Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. He's got SUVs, crossovers, long bed, short bed, flatbed, dump cab, crew cab, cinder cab, half ton, 3/4 ton, 1 ton, high cube van, cargo van, diesel engine, gas in stock, or custom in the color you want, man. Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. Ray Skillman's got your truck, man.
Welcome inside Ray Skillman Stadium for tonight's Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference battle between number 2 Center Grove and number 6 Pike. Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Conrad, joined by Ted Kitchell and Rick Embry. And Ted Kitchell, we've got a fantastic crowd tonight, and we've got some football weather, 67 degrees here at game time.
Yeah, it's a perfect night, bright sunshine, yet it's it's only 67 degrees. I mean, it's just absolutely perfect, a great fall evening. You got an exceptional crowd because of all of the youngsters being out here tonight. So you even have more people than normal out here, and you should have a great football game to watch.
We're just moments away before the kickoff of tonight's Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference game. For Coach Eric Moore, now in his 15th year at Center Grove, state champs back in 2008 under Coach Moore, state runner-up in 2000. 7 regional titles and 7 sectional championships under Coach Moore, and 4 conference titles in the MIC. And last week, the Trojans under Coach Moore won the Copper Kettle for a 4th time against the Carmel Greyhounds. The Trojans again on the season, a perfect 3-0 with wins at Warren Central a couple of weeks ago, one here at home in the home opener against Whiteland, 56-0, and then last week, great win at Carmel to improve to a perfect 3-0 and 2-0 in the conference. In the state polls this week, Center Grove remains number 2 in Class 6A in both the AP Media poll and the Coaches poll, and they also, for a 3rd straight week in the computer rankings, still ranked number 1 in the state of Indiana. Ted, how about the playmakers tonight for the Center Grove Trojans?
Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about the other side of the ball. So many times we talk about the wing T and the offensive players. Luke Calvert's done a great job for the offense, but I'm going to talk about 4 guys that I think really need to do a good job tonight and have done a good job, and the reason that Center Grove has played so well this year, and that's the defense, and let's talk about the seniors on that defense. Dylan Dallas, defensive end, is number 4, has been outstanding. Your 2 inside linebackers, McFatridge and Kelsheimer, have done a great job. But I think the guy that's really led the way all year has been number 26, going to attend the Army, going to be a cadet next year. Alex Ackerman has really, really been a great player. I mean, he catches punts. He plays, safety back there, and, just has done an outstanding job, gives a great effort each and every time. has a great understanding of what Coach Moore wants him to do out there. And I think the defense is going to have to play very well. As Rick mentioned, this is a team that can really score some points. Pike's averaging about 33 points a game, and they've played against some great competition, so the defense is really going to have to step up once again.
Head coach for the Pike Red Devils, Derek Moyers, now in his 7th year at Pike, 89 wins, 50 losses. He's accomplished quite a bit in his 7 years. 2 sectional titles back in 2007. That was his first year with the Pike Red Devil program. Also won a sectional title last year. Also in that 2007 season, they won the regional in Semi-State. Actually, they were a perfect 14-0 going into the state championship game and lost to the Carmel Greyhounds. So again, just a great way for Coach Moyers to begin his coaching career here at Pike. For the Red Devils, 2-1 on the season. They're 1-0 in conference play. Again, the one conference win coming against North Central, 41-22. That was in week number 1. And then week 2, Ted alluded to it early on. Again, they went down and played the Cincinnati Moeller squad, and that was at the University of Cincinnati. And the Pike Red Devils lost on the very last play of the ball game. 37-33 the final score. The Moeller squad scored on a 43-yard touchdown pass to end the game to beat Pike in week number 2. And last week I talked to Coach Moyers before tonight's game. They played against Tech and beat Tech 30-17. He said Tech, very impressive, probably the biggest team they're going to face all season long. And now here are the Center Grove Trojans. Center Grove in the home red jerseys, white pants, white helmets with the red stripe and the numbers on the left side of the helmet. The Pike Red Devils across the way in the white jerseys, red pants, red helmets. And you look at the series between Center Grove and Pike, at least in recent history. The Trojans and Red Devils played back in 2010 and 2009. The 2010 game at Pike, Center Grove won 16-8, and the last time the Red Devils played here at Ray Skillman Stadium in 09. Center Grove won 24-7. And Ted, I recall in that 09 game, the Trojans came out again very physical with the defense. And I talked to Coach Moyers tonight before the game a little bit, and he said, yeah, my 2 top receivers back in 09 really had no interest in getting hit and playing that much, and they both were out in the first half.
Yeah, usually when Eric Moore, has a really good sense for seeing guys that like the spotlight, but don't so much like to get hit. And early in the game, whenever they don't cheap shot them, but every time they get a chance, they're going to put you on the ground, and they're going to get 2 or 3 guys to put you on the ground. And expect him to do that tonight. I mean, he talked about fundamentals, blocking and tackling. Those are 2 just real simple fundamentals. And when they're done correctly, the team that does them best usually wins.
Tonight's first quarter is being delivered by Precision Transportation Solutions. Precision Transportation Solutions, also known as PTS, is a proud supporter of Center Grove Trojan football. Chase Watkins will tee it up at the right hash for the Pike Red Devils. Ryan Pendergraft, senior, back deep for the Center Grove Trojans, along with Max the Rocket Norris. And what a splendid game Max Norris had last week, a 99-yard touchdown run and a 94 touchdown yard run, and it's a high kick in the direction of Pendy. He'll take it from his own 7-yard line. Good return going for Pendy. He's across the 25. 20-yard return by Ryan Pendergraft, and the Trojans with good field position to start tonight's conference matchup.
I got a chance to walk in with Pendergraft's mother and father tonight, so it was very enjoyable. I know that they're really excited to be coming to the football games again. He hadn't played for a while, and I'm sure that Coach Moore is also very excited. He really helps on their return game. He and Ackerman do an outstanding job back there, and then obviously he's a great defender.
Luke Calvert, senior quarterback under center. Splendid start here in 2013. Lane Morris, fullback, gets a yard or so on the first carry. Starting tonight for the Trojans offensively on the O-line, Jared Hobson, Logan Battle, Jacob Vance, Jacob Shoup, and Alex Woods. Cameron Tidd is the tight end. Calvin Daggett getting the start at halfback. Lane Morris is the fullback. Max Norris, the wingback. Justin Vedeto, the split end, and Luke Calvert, the senior quarterback. And now on play action, Calvert rolls. He's under trouble, and he's going to go down inside his own 25-yard line. He will take the sack.
You can see Pike very, very quick. I think tonight, the interior lines, it'll be interesting to see. You talked about that offensive line that has done such a good job for Center Grove. They come in with an average weight of about 250. The offensive line for Pike comes in at about 287 average. So Pike, I would be very surprised if they don't try to use some of their big bulkiness and try to run the ball when they get a chance here on offense. But defensively, they made an outstanding play right there, and Luke Calvert lost a number of yards.
Quentin Moon gets credit for the sack. 3rd and 15 for the Trojans from the gun. Calvert pumps it, now throws it to the flat. It is incomplete. Looking for Matt O'Brien, senior, split in on that far sideline. Starting tonight defensively for the Red Devils, their impact players pretty much their linebackers. Aaron Jones, Quentin Moon, Tate Spence, and Donovan Phillips. The D-end is James McBride. Anthony Jackson, the other D-end on the D-line. You've got Jimmy Warren starting tonight in the place of Marcus Johnson, who is injured. In the secondary, Joshua Hayes, Robert Williams, Keith Cork, and Anthony Green. Green, their leading tackler.
First punt, they're punting into a pretty strong wind as we look. Wind blowing out of the north. That's why we got that cool weather tonight. But Center Grove having to cook straight into it to start this game.
Joshua Hayes, sophomore, back deep for the Pike Red Devils. This is very high, and Hayes will call for a fair catch at his own 46-yard line. And they'll spot it officially at the 47. So the Trojans' first offensive drive results in a punt. And now we'll see the Pike Red Devils offensively for the first time tonight.
Yeah, you can see they were able to turn the field a little bit on Center Grove. They're having to kick into the wind. I mean, he really hit a nice punt, but still they're able to field it. They get it at their own 46-yard line. They've got great field position, and this is a team, like I said before, they can score some points. They've put about 33 a game on everybody they've played.
Handoff, running play here to the near side. That's Derek Wilkerson, and Wilkerson gets it across midfield down to the Trojan 45-yard line. Good pickup of 8 yards for Derek Wilkerson.
And Center Grove was there. They just Wilkerson just had a burst of speed, able to turn that corner when he needed to. I mean, he was right at the a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. He turned a 2-yard loss into about an 8-yard gain.
Brent Lyles, quarterback for the Red Devils, stands at 6'3". He's a senior. Running play again with Wilkerson. Picks up the first down. Starting tonight for the Red Devils. Lyles again the quarterback. The running backs are Derek Wilkerson and Taylor Sanders. The wide receivers, Dominic Booth, a committed player to play at Tennessee next year. Rashad Madaris, another wide receiver, and Quentin Talaferro, another wideout. On the line is James McBride, Sean Moore, Raymond Waits, Rashid Nabi, and Jalen Allen. Passing play for 3 yards for the Red Devils. Good pursuit by the Trojans. McFatridge over there.
Interesting, they would come out and throw after they move the chains, pick up a first down on 2 running plays, and now very comfortable in throwing the football. So far their offensive line has contained things pretty well.
Lyles, the quarterback, he's very effective running the ball and passing. 752 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, couple of interceptions. And on the ground, 2 touchdowns, rushing for 90 yards, and now an incomplete pass. Intended receiver here in the middle, number 11, Devin Pearson. He's a senior.
Yeah, he tried to dump it off there. Nice pursuit by the Center Grove team. This is a team we've talked about, the defensive team. Doesn't have a lot of beef up front, but they have a lot of speed, a lot of guts, a lot of heart, and they played an exceptional game last week at Carmel.
3rd and 6. Movement
Hold them off
on the D-line. Should be 5 yards, so it'll bring up 3rd and 1. And starting tonight defensively for the Trojans on the D-line, Dylan Dallas, Tyler Amaro, Gavin Everett, Dimitri Wilson. The linebackers are Keegan McFatridge, Keith Sears, Caleb Kelsheimer. And in the secondary, Alex Ackerman, Cole Fresher, Derek Wozniak, and Zach Hart. So now, Ted, 3rd and 6 now becomes 3rd and 1.
It's a short one. It's, about half a yard.
Again, movement on the D-line, but this time the Trojans did not come across. That was Dylan Dallas with a little movement on the D-line. Lyles doing a good job with the cadence. And now he'll back up into Shotgun formation. And he's going to run the football, a delayed run. He gets it inside the 30 for the first down, picks up 3.
Well, he was running the read option. The only thing was there was nobody to option to. The back ran around him, and he was supposed to be faking to him into the line, so he's kind of faking to nobody. But I think right there that tells you their offensive line is big and strong, and so far Center Grove not getting much of a push from their defensive line.
New set of downs, ball at the Trojan 29. Sanders with the run, looking for the end zone, chopped down at the 5. Great run by Taylor Sanders. He's a senior at 5'10", 195 pounds. He's their leading rusher coming into tonight's ball game, 326 yards, and Teddy's averaging 9 per carry on the season.
Well, I'm going to beat it to death, but this offensive line is, like I said, they're 30 pounds, 35 pounds heavier than the Center Grove, and so far they're just moving them out.
First and goal, Derek Wilkerson stood up in the hole, lost a yard. Great push that time by the Center Grove Trojan defense.
Looked like Kelsheimer. He's not very big, but boy, he's got a huge heart, and he met him right in the hole and drove him back.
Caleb Kelsheimer, senior at 5'9", 195 pounds. He's the second leading tackler for the Trojans with 19. A couple of sacks on the year. Second and goal at the 5.
You have to play fast. Oh, he fumbled it.
Fumbled the snap. The quarterback gets outside, and now they cut him down. Loss of yardage.
It actually wasn't the quarterback. They lined up.
Taylor Sanders.
Yeah, they actually 21. Their main running back lined up as the quarterback, and they were just going to run it out of that situation. He fumbled the snap, and because of it, they lost about 4 yards.
Zach Hart and Alex Ackerman get credit for the tackle here on the outside. Brings up third and goal from the 9-yard line. 7:45 to play first quarter.
Would be a huge stop for Center Grove if they could even keep them to 3 points here.
Lyles, shotgun formation, looks left, wants to pass, throws it, and picked off. Picked off by Alex Ackerman, and Ackerman rips through a tackle, and he brings it across the 25.
He was setting on that one. He jumped that route. He saw that coming. He knew exactly what. We were right behind the quarterback. It was easy to see, and Ackerman just baited him to throw it right in there, stepped in there and picked it off, and a huge, huge defensive stand for the Center Grove Trojans.
Ackerman's first interception of the season, the second for the Trojans this season. He returns at 24 yards, 1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 23-yard line. Handoff goes to the Rocket, trying to get the edge. He got the edge, gets to the 30, stutter steps at the 35, and out of bounds at the 40. 15 yards for Max Norris.
Great run right there. Max Norris has the speed where he can get around the edge. Some of our other guys, they're going to have to cut it back and cut it up because this Pike defense is very speedy, but Max Norris had no problem in getting that edge that time.
Lane Morris gets his number called this time, stumbles forward for a couple of yards. A late flag on the play.
Looked like a flag. Probably a hold where it's coming from. It's kind of late.
Max Norris on the season after last Friday night, 28 carries, 361 yards, averaging 12 yards per carry, 6 touchdowns, and his long of the season of his career, 99 yards. Again, you heard Coach Moore talk about it in the pregame show. It was more like a 104 to maybe 105 yards long because he took it several yards deep in the end zone, the actual handoff, but obviously he only gets the official credit of 99 yards. Ted holding against the Trojans, so it'll mark it back to the Trojan 32-yard line.
Yeah, that really hurts them. Center Grove was moving the football. They'd gotten a positive first down. Now all of a sudden you look up and it's first down at about 17.
Man in motion, Calvin Daggett takes the handoff, gets outside, turns it up, squares the shoulder pads, and he's close to midfield and close to another first down. Calvin Daggett Jr. getting the start tonight. Had a touchdown last Friday night against the Carmel Greyhounds. He picks up 17 yards, 1 yard short of the first down.
This would be a great opportunity right here to fake it into the middle on 2nd down and 1 and throw one up over the top.
Great block by Max Norris to spring Daggett for a 17-yard gain.
QB
Luke
sneak.
Calvert picks up the first down. Center Grove with the football now in Pike territory. Center Grove's first drive of the night stalled deep in its own territory, forced the punt. Great defense by the Center Grove Trojans. Alex Ackerman, again, his first interception of the season, put an end to the Pike opening drive. Trojans trying to capitalize off the Pike miscue. 6:10 to play. First quarter, no score between Center Grove and Pike. Handoff to the fullback, Lane Morris. Powers to the Pike 45-yard line. 4 yards for Lane Morris.
Defensive line getting down on the ground makes it difficult running for Lane Morris. He can't really use his shiftiness inside. He's got such great feet because all of a sudden you're tripping over people and when you got big strong linemen in front of you, it sure makes your linebackers a lot better. Ray Lewis made a living standing behind guys like Lodi Nada.
Daggett in motion. Inside handoff to Max Norris. He couldn't find a hole, and he's trying to make something out of it. I think for progress, he'll lose a couple.
Yeah, the play's just a little slow in developing, and Pike, like we see Ben Davis, like we see Warren Central, or any of those teams, they just have such great quickness, especially from their corners, and they just blow that play up.
Third and 8, the call for the Center Grove Trojans. Vedeto splits out here to the left. Couple of receivers to the right. Calvert goes underneath to his fullback, Lane Morris. Lane Morris keeps churning and finally goes down short of the 40. He'll be at the 41-yard line. Need to get it just past the 39 to get that first down.
I'll tell you what, Lane Morris took a hit right there because he was dragging two guys with him, and one of the Pike guys came up and popped him.
Ted, surprised by this? It's 4th and 2.
I haven't seen him put a foot on the ball yet.
And the Trojans with the punting unit. Matt O'Brien, first punt was 30 yards. And now Matt's going to throw it, and it's a first down for the Trojans. He threw it to Ackerman, and he's got the first down to the 25-yard line. I was going to say, I just didn't feel like Coach Moore was going to punt because, again, needing 2 yards, I just felt like they were going to try and go for it, and they did. And great throw by O'Brien, 16-yard pickup.
Yeah, in that situation, if you don't have much confidence in your defense, then obviously you want to make a team go 80 or 90 yards. But as much confidence as Eric Moore has in his defense, I was very surprised to, first of all, see the punting team out, and that's what I said. I hadn't seen them punt it yet, and they didn't punt it.
Busted play. Calvin Daggett, the junior man in motion, did not take the handoff from Luke Calvert. Calvert tried to give it to him, but Daggett had already gone past Calvert. So anyway, Luke had to try to make something of it and lost 1 yard.
Well, timing's such an important part of the wing T offense. It is what it's all about, timing. And the play we saw a little bit ago where they lost yardage, it was a little bit off timing, and right there it was too. So that's why it's so important to have a quarterback in there that's run it before.
Linebacker Aaron Jones with the stop on Calvert. They go underneath to Lee Klinker. He's got the first down, pushed out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
Blown assignment right there. Nobody out in the flat to the right. Luke Calvert able to get it out there, sling it out there to him after he's able to make Klinger able to make the catch. Had plenty of running room, and that now they're in business on the 11.
15 yards for the sophomore Lee Klinker. First and 10 at the 11. No score between Center Grove and Pike, but the Trojans knocking on the door. Man in motion takes the handoff. Max the Rocket Norris trying to get outside. A nice spin move, puts his hand down and fights for some more yardage. The never say die attitude by The rocket nearly got him a touchdown. He'll be marked down at the 2.
Well, it sure did. I mean, he should have been marked down at the 8 or 9, but he got that hand down on the ground. He's able to keep his balance, which he and Lane Morris both do such a great job of getting additional yards. And there he got 7 additional yards and put him in a great position here on the 2.
Big blow up, but the Trojans get in there. Touchdown. Lee Klinker was able to get the handoff from Luke Calvert and scores from 2 yards out, and the Center Grove Trojans strike first against the Pike Red Devils, leading 6-0, 2:22 to play first quarter.
All set up by one of the guys I thought would be a key tonight, Alex Ackerman. I mean, he made a huge play down there on the defensive end, intercepting that football, keeping Pike out of the end zone, off the scoreboard, and then Center Grove offense coming out and really taking control of things.
The kick by Seth Northern is good. Makes it now a 7-0 ball game. Impressive drive by the Center Grove Trojans. Coach Moore with a gutsy call on 4th and 2, putting Matt O'Brien, the punter, in there, and Matt threw the football down the field to Alex Ackerman for the completed pass and the first down to keep the drive alive, and the Trojans score on Lee Klinker's 2-yard run. 7-0 Center Grove.
I guess I'm always a little amazed that things like that work, because if you've done your homework, if you have any idea how much confidence Eric Moore has in his defense and his offense, I can't imagine that with 4th and 1.5 that he doesn't think that he can pick it up if he goes nose to nose against you. And instead you get in punting position, and I mean, if I was on the line, I would think 90% chance that this is going to be a fake. But it did work, so obviously somebody for Pike had not done their homework.
Again, for every Center Grove touchdown tonight, the Center Grove Gridiron Club will donate $10 to the Tyler Jenikin Foundation to aid in the fight against cancer. Nathaniel Snyder stepping it off, preparing for his first kick of the evening.
Probably a pooch.
It's high to the near sideline. They do not call for a fair catch. It is taken at the 32, and now he goes backwards and loses yardage on the play. That is Curtis Collins. He's a junior defensive back, and what probably could have been at the 32, he goes back and loses 4 yards. It'll be spotted at the 28-yard line, and for the Center Grove Trojans, coming down to make the tackle was Brett Maurer. He is a sophomore.
That pooch kick works wonders for Center Grove. I mean, whenever they're kicking into the wind, the kid does an excellent job. He kicks it high in the air. The other team doesn't know whether fair catch or what to do with it, and they usually don't give much field position up.
Lyles shotgun formation to the near side. Completed pass to Taylor Sanders, senior running back. For the Trojans on that last drive, Ted, 11 plays. They ran the ball 8 times, put the ball in the air 3 times, moved it 77 yards in 5 minutes, 9 seconds. Again, Klinker on a 2-yard touchdown run to give Center Grove an early 7-0 lead. Running play, Pike picks up the first down. Ball across the 45. Good run for the Pike Red Devils.
And it was and that's the play that really hurts Center Grove. The one thing they struggle against is that read option. But the one thing I noticed at the end is Center Grove really put a popping on that quarterback. They want to hit him hard and make sure that he's not so enthusiastic about that next run that he makes.
Lyles picks up 10 yards. Lyles stands tall in the pocket across the middle. Incomplete. Ackerman nearly had his second pick of the night. Also near the football for the Trojans was Aaron Hunt.
Well, both of them were playing the football, doing exactly what they're supposed to do, but Hunt kind of knocked Ackerman off balance there. Ackerman would have had his second pick of the night.
Brent Lyles has thrown now 3 interceptions on the season, 8 touchdown passes. Wilkerson runs it across midfield into Trojan territory, chopped down just short of the 45. He'll be marked at the 47. Derek Wilkerson, a senior at 5'9", and Ted, I know he's related to the great IU basketball player Bobby Wilkerson.
He's obviously built just a little bit differently. I mean, Bobby Wilkerson was about 6'9", very sleek, slender, and just a tremendous athlete.
Eric Harrison tried to get the edge. Fantastic job by the Trojan defense to string it out, not allowing him to turn it up for the first down. It'll be 4th and 3, and at the moment, Coach Moyers appears to be, Ted, going for it on 4th and 3.
Well, they've pulled Center Grove off sides once. I'm sure they'll try and do this again. You know, Center Grove's got to be disciplined here and sit down in your stance. Don't be jumping.
Ackerman and Kelsheimer
did it again.
Made the tackle,
40.
and Omaro is offside. Omaro jumped on that far right side.
I guarantee somebody said don't jump. Now, they already did this once. It comes down to discipline. You've just got to be disciplined, and you got to set in there and really watch that football. Don't listen to the cadence. You got to watch the football instead. Gives them a free first down.
Amaro, a 6'2 senior, got an earful from Coach Chad Daniels, the defensive coordinator here on the sideline.
5 wide.
Far sideline pass is complete. Devin Pearson.
Obviously, that's the one that Center Grove's going to give up. They're going to give up the short out rather than let somebody get down the field on them. It looks like it's a little tough to see over. That sun is very, very bright, and Center Grove looking over here at the sidelines trying to pick up signals.
8-yard pickup for Pearson. Ball at the Trojan 34, 2nd and 2. 40 seconds to play opening quarter. Another quick pass, enough for the first down and some additional yardage for Taylor Sanders. Ball just short of the 20. 12 yards for Sanders.
Well, they've got one guy running a deep pattern. I mean, like we said, they got 5 outs. I mean, they got nobody in the backfield. They got 5 guys, and it's just a quick 3-step drop. And you've got to let the short man go, but you got to be careful that he doesn't go long and go for the touchdown like he did right there.
Fakes the short pass, goes to the end zone. Incomplete pass. He led Taylor Sanders too much.
See, what they're trying to do is they're trying to bait you. 21 had went up the field and out 2 times in a row, and Center Grove not able to cover him. So that time he goes up, fakes out, and then runs a little post pattern, and he was wide open, and Lyles just missed him.
30 seconds to play opening quarter. Pike threatening for the second time tonight. Sanders could not get outside. Solo tackle made by Tyler Amaro. Amaro trying to make amends after jumping offside, made a fantastic defensive play.
Well, he did a nice job of staying at home right there as a defensive end. He came right in, looked him eye to eye, and he didn't go for the fake. Quarterback handed it off, and he put him on the ground.
That may be our last play of the quarter, down to 4 seconds, and Pike will let the clock run out. After one complete here at Ray Skillman Stadium, the Center Grove Trojans ranked number 2 in the state of Indiana, leading number 6 Pike 7-0. We'll take a break. This is Center Grove Trojan football.
Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. He's got SUVs, crossovers, long bed, short bed, flatbed, dump cab, crew cab, in a cab, half ton, 3/4 ton, 1 ton, high cube van, cargo van, diesel engine, gas in stock, or custom in the color you want, man. Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. Ray Skillman's got your truck, man.
Great opening quarter between the Center Grove Trojans and the Pike Red Devils. The Trojans leading Pike 7-0 here on Friday the 13th. And any coincidence, Ted, playing the Red Devils here on the 13th of Friday?
I never believed in that stuff much, so it never bothered me.
Here in quarter number 2, being presented by Allstate Insurance, Bontrager Agency of Greenwood.
3rd and 13. Big time play right here. If Center Grove could stop them, I'm sure they're looking at this as 2-down territory because they're not a strong field goal kicking team.
Lyles, shotgun formation, drops back, looks across the middle, fires, and got his man inside the 15, short of the first down, but a great catch by
short.
Devin Pearson. And
Looks
Ted,
like
their
he's,
top
a
receiver, Dominic Booth, has not caught a pass yet tonight. Again, he's the one committed to go to the University of Tennessee, and it's going to be 4th and 1, and the Red Devils are going for it. Again, the Trojans have to stay disciplined. They cannot jump offside. They've done it twice here in tonight's ball game.
5 wide.
3 receivers to the right, a couple here to the left. Lyles
quarterback
in the
sneak.
gun. He bobbles it, now gets control of it, throws it, knocked down, flag out.
Hold.
This may be
Probably a hold.
I thought it was going to be pass interference.
No, it's definitely not pass interference.
The Trojan defense running off the field. It will be against the Pike Red Devils. Center Grove will decline it, and you are correct, Rick and Ted. It is a hold against the Red Devils.
Well, that's the second time they've had a bad snap, or they haven't handled the snap cleanly, and because of it, the quarterback is a little late looking to his receiver, but still, the guy he's looking for is just not available. I mean, Ackerman is just sitting in there on top of that little post pattern that they're trying to run, and there were 2 Center Grove guys there to knock that ball away, so the defense comes up big once again.
Penalty actually was face mask against the Red Devils. Center Grove declines it, so the Red Devils turn the ball over on downs. Center Grove takes possession at its own 14, leading 7-0. Here comes
Nobody
Calvin
there.
Daggett. Has a blocker, cuts it back, flag down. It's going to be holding against the Trojans. Holding or a block in the back, and
that's about a 70-yarder that's going
Daggett
to come all the
finally
way
pushed
back.
out of bounds at the Pike 30, but it's going to come back, flag down at the 25. It was a 56-yard run by the junior Calvin Daggett, and it's going against the Center Grove Trojans, a block in the back. Allstate Insurance, the Bontrager Agency of Greenwood, is presenting our second quarter tonight. Personal financial representative John Bontrager and his family have been a part of the Greenwood Center Grove community for more than 17 years. John provides a high level of service for more than 2,500 customers. The Bontrager Agency is located at 395 South State Road 135, or contact the agency at 317-888-3200. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Well, that's a big penalty right there. And Center Grove has been a team that's been penalized a little bit more than what Eric Moore would like so far this year. But still, the offense has done a nice job here the last 2 or 3 possessions of really moving the football and pretty much controlling this football game.
Spot foul, so it's now 1st and 9 for the Trojans. Ball at the Center Grove 15-yard line. Play action. Calvert underneath, wide open is the fullback Lane Morris. He's upended, but he does pick up a first down. Tackle made by Jerome Davis.
Well, Calvert's done a good job all year of finding Morris, and Morris does a good job of positioning himself on the field where he can catch the ball and then run with it. I mean, usually that, Coach Moore talks about that little pass right there is almost a handoff, because it's a very safe pass. Yet with Morris catching it in a position where he can run, I mean, he's got such great running skills that he picks up about 15 yards a catch.
13 yards exactly on that catch for Lane Morris. Running play again is Daggett. He gets outside, now cuts it back, gets it to the 40, and pushed out of bounds. You would think once forward progress has stopped, they would blow the whistle. A little slow with the whistle. They're going to spot it just short of the 41-yard line. 11 yards for Daggett, another Trojan first down.
Well, I think they're always a little slow with the whistle, no matter what level you're on, high school, college. I mean, sometimes guys are just getting killed, but also we might have been guys if they'd have blown it quickly on Max Norris last week when he was on about the 4-yard line, because there were 4 guys that had their hands on him right before he sprung out and went 95 yards. We would have been a little upset about that one too.
Inside 11 minutes to play, second quarter. Lane Morris, some hard yards up the middle, picks up 2.5 yards.
The interesting thing about Eric Moore's football team is they're just tough. His offensive linemen, they stay with their blocks. They're irritating. They do the things, and they do it, until the whistle blows. I mean, they don't just hit you. They continue to hit you and drive you. I mean, watch these offensive linemen, the way they hit you and stay with blocks. It's unbelievable.
Actually give Lane Morris
wide
4
open,
yards.
nobody on him.
O'Brien catches the ball. He's to the 15, 10, 5. Ball came out. He fumbled it in the end zone. Ball goes out of bounds. It should be a touchback.
It'll be a touchback
should
for Pike.
put the ball at the 20. It should be Center Grove ball at the 20 because they did not possess it.
It'll be Pike ball. It'll be Pike ball at the 20.
But they never possessed the football.
It doesn't matter. It went out of the back of the end zone, so it'll be a touchback, and Pike will get the football.
O'Brien got the ball just inside the 5. Was almost
It was a
breaking the plane of the end zone, and he was
It was a blown coverage. There was nobody from Pike on him, and Luke sees him out there. He throws a perfect pass. O'Brien kind of trips just a little bit on about the 30-yard line. I mean, there is nobody within 15 yards of him. Pike quickly catches up with him, and then they're able to knock it away. There's no question they knocked it away before he got it in the end zone. The ball goes out of the back of the end zone, and the defensive team ends up getting that football. Their offense gets it going the other way on the 20. It's a touchback is what it is.
So Pike takes control at their own 20-yard line.
Wow.
So a 55-yard pass play, and then the fumble occurred, and with the touchback, Pike now takes possession. Wilkerson trying to bounce it outside. He is tripped up at the 25-yard line.
A little surprised Pike hasn't stayed with Wilkerson a little bit more. He's gaining about 4 or 5 yards every time he touches the football, but get him in there a couple times, gain 9-10 yards, and then all of a sudden they want to start throwing the football around again.
2nd and 6, and the Trojans force a fumble, and it will be Center Grove football at the 20. Tyler Amaro with the big hit, and the recovery made by Gavin Everett getting the start tonight. He is a 6'3", 200-pound junior.
Well, the defense steps up once again. They've stepped up all year. They're really the heart and soul of the team. I mean, the offense does what it needs to do. It moves the ball, it puts points on the board, but the defense really sets the tone, and Ackerman and Dylan Dallas, a lot of those guys who have played for a number of years, have just done an outstanding job of coming up with another big play.
Max Norris can't quite get the edge.
Late flag
comes out really late. This comes from the lead official. Holding against Center Grove. They're pointing right at Calvin Daggett, number 24. 9:22 to play, opening half. Center Grove in front, 7-0, and all of a sudden, Ted, a little bit of some sloppy play by both teams. Couple of turnovers now by Pike and one by the Trojans.
Well, I think it's interesting when you watch the Pike offense. They came out, really moving the ball up and down the field, no problem. And now, Center Grove has been pounding on them for a half now, and they just don't seem to have near the spunk to them that they had to start the game. They kind of, Center Grove's defense, even though they're not that big, they just continue to hammer on you. 4 or 5 guys hitting you if you're the ball carrier, putting you down on the ground, and it seems like they've just taken kind of their will away from them.
Max Norris. Pretty good running lane, but it closed pretty quickly. He is hit at the 25-yard line. Picks up 4 yards. Down to 9 minutes here in the second quarter. Center Grove leads it 7-0. Touchdown run by Lee Klinker back in the first quarter. The only score in tonight's ball game.
About time for the double handoff here, isn't it?
Worked very well last week against the Carmel Greyhounds for 94 yards.
Not out of the shotgun.
2nd and 16. Pass here to the near side to Doyle. He's inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Jay Doyle picks up 12 yards.
Well, they're obviously down in four down territory, so 3rd down and about 4 yards right here. So Eric Moore's got a lot of options. He can, he can sit back there and he can throw the football. He can run it. Quarterback can run it. I mean, you got a lot of options with Luke Calvert back there.
3rd and 4, the call. Ball at the Pike 14-yard line. 8 minutes to play, first half. Max Norris, the man in motion, took the handoff, and the Red Devil defense not fooled one bit. They drop him for a loss.
Yeah, he lost about 4 yards right there. That's now all of a sudden it looks like we're going to send the field goal kicking unit on, which will be downwind and probably be about a 27-yarder, 25-yarder, or 35, excuse me.
36, Ted. They're going to drop the block at the 26-yard line.
Yep, 36.
So right around 36 yards here for Seth Northern. He is a senior. This is his first varsity attempt at a field goal. And it is blocked by the Red Devils, and they pick it up just inside the 14.
It's a no-no picking it up. I mean, somebody has not, again, done their homework. I mean, when you block a kick, unless it happens to bounce right up to you and you're in full speed towards the end zone, get away from it. I mean, you end up losing yardage. You usually end up fumbling it and everything else, but nothing good usually happens. But both teams, as you mentioned, and I think you put it exactly the way it should be, a little sloppy here in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Center Grove scored its lone touchdown in the first quarter at the 2:22 mark. Lee Klinker on a 2-yard run. But since then, we've seen some turnovers by both teams. Red Devils, good run going. Hold on the edge. Flag down at the 15-yard line.
They already said it was a hold, so once again, they're going to be looking at 1st and 20.
.7:03 to play, second quarter. Center Grove 7, Pike 0 with the holding penalty. The ball now placed at the Red Devil 6-yard line. 1st and long coming up here for Pike. Lyles in shotgun formation. He'll be right at the 2-yard line. A quick pass to his right to Booth, and Booth got away from the cornerback, and the Trojans were able to chase him down. Again, Booth going to Tennessee to play for the Volunteers.
Picked up a 1st down right there, though. Pretty nice pitch and catch by Lyles and Booth.
His first reception tonight goes for 19 yards.
Made it look pretty easy, too.
Numbers on Booth, 9 receptions, 140 yards, 1 touchdown, 737 is long this year, and Devin Pearson here on the near side couldn't quite handle that pass, thrown behind him. Got him twisted a little bit.
If you're Center Grove, you'd really like to try to make a stop right here, because they'd be kicking into the wind. You're probably going to get the ball back, just over the 50-yard line. Not a great kicking team anyway. So as long as you see them continuing to throw the football, it gives you a great opportunity to maybe get the ball back and score yourself.
2nd and 10. Quarterback keeps it. Gets it to the 30-yard line. Lyles, 5-yard pickup. After 1 quarter, Warren Central leading Ben Davis 14-0. And again, Center Grove beating Warren at Warren to start the season. And since then, all Warren has done is gotten a lot better. They beat Cathedral, and now off to a great start against Ben Davis.
Yeah, I would not want to have to face them late in the year, which I'm sure somebody will, obviously, being here in Indianapolis. But I think that coach does an outstanding job.
An ill-advised snap.
Oh, my God.
Lyles picks it up, and just because he's a great athleticism, he gets outside, and I think he gets the first down.
Yeah, I mean, for people not watching, I mean, he's walking up from the shotgun, walking up to talk to the line, and they hike the ball to him and hit him right in the gut. I mean, it really should be a procedure penalty because, I mean, he was in motion.
Coach Moore, very irate here on the near sideline. He wants the penalty call. Referee's conferring.
Yeah, the quarterback is in motion when that ball hits him right there, but I'll be very surprised if they make this call.
At the moment, Lyles picks up the first down. They've moved the chains.
But back to Warren Central for a second. I just think, first of all, we know they have great talent. George looked a little lost the night we played him. I mean, he just needed to get some focus on what he was doing, and they're starting to throw the football and do the things that they want to do. Eric Moore not going to be happy. He's thinking the quarterback should have been called for in motion. Instead, it's first down Pike.
New set of downs for the Red Devils from their own 36. Ball batted down at the line of scrimmage. Was that Amaro? Yes, Tyler Amaro, left defensive end, was able to knock it down.
Well, good job by the defensive coordinator there telling, if they're going to continue to throw that little quick out towards the short sideline, defensive end, get across and get you're not going to have time to get to the quarterback. Get your hands up and make it difficult for him to see that receiver, and that time able to knock the football away.
Lyles, quarterback, finds a seam. Just short of the first down, 2 yards shy, picks up 8 yards. Another big third down coming up for both teams.
Well, Pike has done an outstanding job of moving the football. I mean, they haven't got any points on the board, but they've moved it from, 20 to 20, as good as anybody we've seen move the football all year against this Center Grove defense.
5:15 to play, first half. Sanders has the first down across midfield. Good run by the senior. Taylor Sanders, 5'10", 195 pounds. Sanders again averaging 9 yards per carry coming into tonight's ball game. He is their leading rusher, over 300 yards. 71 yards his long this year. They go right back to Sanders on first down.
I mean, we're looking right down the line right here, and when that offensive line gives a push, I mean, Center Grove is not even touching that running back till he's 3 or 4 yards down the field. I mean, I'm amazed that they haven't just continued to just pound it down the middle of that line.
6-yard pickup. 2nd and 4. The Red Devils look to the sideline for the next offensive play. Lyles fakes the handoff, picks up the first down. Again, that quarterback option read, very difficult to defend. Lyles, one of their top rushers this year. 90 yards coming into tonight's game, couple of touchdowns, picks up 9. First and 10 at the Trojan 34.
Still plenty of time. There's 4 minutes left in the half, so Pike, no need to hurry. Still have plenty of time. Center Grove defense needs to make a play.
This time Lyles hands it off. Wilkerson turns it up. Flag down at the 32-yard line.
It's got to be a hold.
Wilkerson again close to another first down, but it may be negated with this penalty flag.
Is that a low block?
Dimitri Wilson will come to the sideline here for the Trojans. Trying to keep guys fresh on that D-line for Center Grove.
I don't know if it's a spot foul. If it's a spot foul, there looks like it's probably 10 yards from the spot. Probably be about first down and 15.
Ted, their left guard, Sean Moore, weighs in at 332 pounds. He's a big fella, number 70 out there. They are very big on that O-line.
He moves pretty good, too. I've
Sure
watched
does.
him. He moves, gets up and down, and I'm just surprised that they haven't continued to just hammer it through the middle. Center Grove does not have those type of bodies on the defensive line. They've got to use their quickness. Center Grove's got all 5 guys up out of a stance. Nobody is down in a stance right here, making it more difficult for them. Look at them. Nobody down in a stance. They got 7 guys in there, nobody on a stance.
Some come, some don't. Now Lyles under pressure, and they take him down at the 40. He gets 1 yard out of it. He wanted to pass, but there was no time for that. Chased down by Gavin Everett, and also in on the tackle was linebacker Adam Lutgring.
Yeah, right there is where a really good quarterback's going to get you into some type of a screen play, because the Center Grove guys had the ears pinned back, and they were rushing the passer.
2nd and 16. Sanders bounces it outside. Good run going.
Well, he's
pushed
shifty.
out of bounds.
He is shifty. He is very good.
Player down for
79.
the Pike Red Devils offensive lineman, Rashid Nabi. He's a 6'2", 290-pound right guard.
Looks like a right leg.
I talked to Coach Moyers before the game tonight. He said their most impactful defensive player already sidelined with a knee injury. That is Tyler Sanders. He said he expects him to be back for their Lawrence North game, and now he's got another offensive lineman down. So they've been hit by some injuries here early in the season, and here's another one for the Red Devils.
Looks like an ankle. I mean, if it was a knee, I doubt that they would have got him up and off the field that quickly. When it's an ankle, they feel like they can get you off the field. It looks like it's going to be about 3rd down at about 4.5, 5 yards. I mean, Pike very good at running the football or passing it. They're very impressive. They've been able to move the football up and down the field. As I said, they've had no problems moving it from 20 to 20. It's once they get in that red zone, they are not able to put any points on the scoreboard, and I think that a lot of that has to do with Center Grove's defense, a defense that we know it will bend, but very seldom does it break.
Red Devils needing 4 yards. Quick pass, and Sanders shakes loose from the initial tackle, and then he stepped out of bounds.
Let's
see where they mark it. It's going to be 1 yard past the first down marker, so he picks up 5.
And still plenty of time at 2:40. So Pike has, again, plenty of time. Center Grove needs to make a play.
First down for the Red Devils.
It's amazing that they don't use Booth. We talked about, what a great athlete he obviously is, going to the University of Tennessee, but they've only thrown to him once or twice all evening.
At the moment, looks like Ackerman matched up with Booth, and now they go to the end zone, and Lyles led his receiver too much. He was open. That was Quentin.
86.
Yeah, Quentin Talaferro. He's a 6'2" junior, and just overthrew him.
Has to be related to a gentleman that I knew very well, George Talaferro, who was one of the first black athletes to play football at Indiana University. Still a gentleman that is very, down in Bloomington, lives in Bloomington, and was a phenomenal football player. High snap.
Bad snap, and Lyles did the right thing. He just jumped on it. Ball spotted at the 44-yard line.
I mean, once again, they've moved it from the 20 all the way down to the 20, and now they're having tremendous problems again. So now you're looking at 3rd down and 10, 20, probably 35.
Loss of 20 yards on the play. The scoreboard says 3rd and 30. Ball at the 43. 2:25 to play first half. Center Grove in front, 7-0. Neither team to score here in quarter number 2. Lyles from the gun. He'll run the football right up the middle. He's chopped down. He
got all the way
dives
to
the 31. They're going to spot him at the 31-yard line. Again, their field goal kicker, only 1 of 3 this year. 27 yards is long, so on 4th down, at the moment it appears they're going to go for it.
They have to get all the way down to the 13-yard line. So Center Grove needs to know where that is and keep that ball from getting there.
Brent Lyles in shotgun formation, 3 receivers to his right, 1 here to his left, 1 running back to his left. Lyles again for a second time checks the sideline for the offensive play.
Still 5
on
seconds.
the play clock. They may just call a timeout.
They'll call timeout.
They call a timeout. And they'll regroup on the sideline with head coach Derek Moyers. And now, Ted, do they come out with a punting unit, or do they call a different play and try to go for it here on 4th and 17?
I would guess that they'll go for it. They have enough big athletes out there that they feel like somebody might be able to make a play. Even if they don't get the first down, if they can gain a few yards, it's going to make a pretty long field for Center Grove as far as trying to score in a minute, in a minute's time. So I don't think there's really any advantage to punting right here, and you don't want to bring, obviously they have a weak kicking game, so I think the only thing you can do is you go in there and you try to run some type of a screen, either that or you throw one down the field and try to have one of your athletes make a play.
Tonight's second quarter being presented by Allstate Insurance, Bontrager Agency of Greenwood. Personal financial representative John Bontrager and his family have been a part of the Greenwood Center Grove community for more than 17 years. John provides a high level of service for more than 2,500 customers. The Bontrager Agency is located at 395 South State Road 135, or contact the agency at 317-888-3200. You're in good hands with Allstate. 4th and 17. Lyles drops back, stands tall in the pocket. He scrambles, throws on the run. It is intercepted. The Trojans intercepted. That is Aaron Hunt with the interception, and he returns it to the 24-yard line.
Aaron needs to knock that ball down. There's a late flag. It's got to be some type of a personal foul.
But if he knocks it down, you get the ball at the 30-yard line as opposed to the 24. But, Ted, with this late flag, it could be a personal foul against Pike.
No question. Yeah, I was going to say, the reason that I thought that was unsportsmanlike is I think they were running off the field, and he heard the referee was running right next to him. He heard them say a few choice words. They weren't too happy with the situation. But why I'm saying he doesn't need to intercept that, while it's nice on your resume that you pick up an interception, you have to think as far as the team, he threw that all the way down to about the 5-yard line. They had the ball at the 30, so you're going to have to intercept it, and you're going to have to run it 25 yards to even get it back to where they started. All you have to do is just knock the ball down. And you're going to get the ball out at the 30-yard line.
With the penalty, ball at the Trojan 40. Center Grove with a minute 21 to work with here in the first half. Center Grove in front, 7-zip.
In the shotgun.
Don't be surprised if they run Lane Morris, spread them out. Nope, Calvert wants to pass. He goes to Matt O'Brien. O'Brien will come to the sideline, out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Picks up 16 yards, stops the clock with a minute 15. Well done by 2 seniors, Calvert to O'Brien.
Yeah, very well done. O'Brien knowing where he is on the field, knowing the situation, knowing that if at all possible you want to get out of bounds, even though they still have their timeouts, they'd like to save them as many as they can, and to pick up 15 or 20 yards and not use much time. Just very well done by the Center Grove Trojans.
Calvert looks that far slide to Vedito, and he catches the football at the 30-yard line. Another 16-yard pickup for the Center Grove Trojans. They'll spot it just inside the 30.
Well, at this pace, it ought to take 2 more plays now to be in the end zone. Shouldn't be a problem at all.
1:09 to play. They stop the clock momentarily to move the first down markers. Now the clock rolls. Calvert ready to go. Same formation. Calvert this time looks right, goes underneath, and it is incomplete.
Doyle.
Looking for Doyle at the 19-yard line. Threw it behind him a little bit to the outside.
Do you see how difficult it is for these teams to adjust when Center Grove goes into the spread? They're so used that they've been working all week about the wing tee and what to stop in the wing tee and what to look for in the wing tee. All of a sudden, they're not in the wing tee. he's in the spread offense, and it's like this team looks up and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to defend it or anything else, and Luke Calvert does a nice job of finding his receivers.
Calvert sets the feet, fires to number 83, Jacob Conrad, the intended receiver. He's a senior.
Yeah, that one should have been picked off.
3rd and 10 for the Center Grove Trojans.
Probably still need 10, 12 yards if you're thinking about a field goal. Still 57.5 seconds left. 3rd down and 10. And remember, they already had 1 field goal blocked tonight.
Calvert remains in shotgun formation. Wants to pass across the middle now, and it's complete at the 15-yard line to Matt O'Brien. He wanted to come here to the flat to Lane Morris. He was covered up, and he checked off, went down the field to Matt O'Brien.
Well, now you're in a position where you can do whatever you want. I mean, you got 3 timeouts. You can run the football if you want to do it, which is what they like to do, yet they're still in the spread and looking as if they're going to pass.
Calvert with 50 seconds to play goes to the end zone, and Devin Hensley
overthrew him.
Nice diving effort. Could not come up with it. With 45 seconds to play, it's going to be 2nd and 10 at the Pike 16.
Yeah, I would not be at all surprised to see a couple running plays here.
Like you said, Center Grove has 3 timeouts, and the timeout being called by Pike.
Yeah, Pike
probably to
one.
give him a breather. That defense has been out there for several plays with very little opportunity to sub in and out. Center Grove in front, 7-0. 45 ticks left here in quarter number 2. Center Grove faced with 2nd and 10 at the Pike 16, and Center Grove still has 3 timeouts remaining. Coming up in just a few seconds, we will have the Ray Skillman Automotive Group halftime show. I have invited the 4 middle school football coaches to join us at halftime. Again, tonight is Bantam night, but also it is middle school football night.
It's amazing the amount of good football we've seen. We're only 4 weeks in, and we have seen, including Center Grove, we have seen 4 teams that are capable of winning a state title. I mean, Center Grove, Carmel, Warren Central, or these Pike Red Devils. I mean, any of these teams, they have enough talent and enough ability that any of these teams could win the 6A state title. That's how good the conference that Center Grove plays in is.
2nd down, ball at the Pike 16. Inside handoff to the fullback, Lane Morris. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, and now they're going to blow it dead. As Lane Morris was ripping out of the pile, they blow it dead.
But we talked about that earlier. It's that's a hard situation. It looks like his forward progress is stopped, and then all of a sudden he comes banging out of the back, and it looks like he's going to wander around, maybe run into the end zone. Well, they've already blown the whistle. So I think that is one of the harder things for officials. I would like to see them blow the whistle a little quicker. Sometimes in the pros and in college, I feel like running backs are just taking a pounding when guys are just continuing to hammer away at them. So I'd like to see him blow that whistle.
Timeout called by Trojan head coach Eric Moore, stopping the clock with 38 seconds to play here in quarter number 2. And Ted, I don't know if you noticed, Lane Morris, he limped off following the play. It looked like he really couldn't put much pressure on his left foot.
I didn't see him at all.
Yeah, it was his left foot. As he ripped out of that pile, he may have injured that left foot. He's being looked at here on the sideline at the moment. Center Grove with 2 more timeouts.
Well, time is not a factor. I mean, they have plenty of time. They can get the ball into the end zone. I mean, they're close enough. They're at the 15-yard line, so it's just a matter of making a play.
Center Grove needs 8 yards for the first down. They go underneath to Devin Hensley, makes the catch. He is hit hard short of the first down. Joshua Hayes coming up with the stick. They'll spot it just short of the 10. Center Grove needing the football, inside the probably 7
About
down to the 6.
Yeah, 6
for
and a half.
a first down. And they're definitely in field goal range. But again, the Trojans tried to field goal their first and only attempt this season. Earlier in the quarter, it was a 37-yard field goal, and it came out a little low, and it was blocked by Pike. let's see what Coach opts to do here.
I would be very surprised if he doesn't kick a field goal. I think 3 points goes a long way in this football game. I wouldn't necessarily usually say 3 points is a big deal in a high school football game, but these two teams are so good, it's hard to score points on them. The thing, Eric Moore, whoever is in charge of their kicking, needs to talk to the gentleman that, you kick extra points, you have no problem. All of a sudden it turns into a field goal. You can't make it any different. You have to set up as if it's the same thing. You still kick it up in the air and through the uprights. So
I have no idea what they're doing. They got Joey Siderwitz back here with Max Norris, and now they're not going to kick it. They're going to go for some kind of a trick play. Siderwitz throws it to the end zone, and it's incomplete. They knocked it down. They threw it to Cameron Tidd to try and score a touchdown. Again, Joey Siderwitz, he's the backup quarterback, the holder. He went out to do his holding duties. It was Max Norris who lined up with him, who was not a kicker, and they tried a trick play, and it did not work. I tell you, though, Cameron Tidd was open,
there's
and
a
they
flag
knocked it down.
over on the far side.
They're going to call a penalty against the Center Grove Trojans. It is declined by Pike, so the play stands. It'll be turnover on downs.
And Pike will come out, and they will put a knee down, and we're going to go to halftime. It's going to be 7-0 Center Grove, unless something really strange happens. And I sit up here in the booth and think these football teams have moved this ball up and down the field. They've been in the red zone. It looks like they're going to score. It looks like it ought to be a game that ought to be about 28-21, and it's 7-0 Center Grove.
Pike showing as though they're going to take a knee, and they do. And that will be the final play of the first half. Pike will receive to begin the second half. 7-0, the score here at intermission. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we will have the Ray Skillman Automotive Group halftime show. Again, Trojan 7, Pike 0. This is Center Grove Trojan football.
Appetizers, gentlemen.
I'll start with the steak tartare.
And you, sir?
I'll have the same. But hold the tartar sauce.
The tartar sauce? Really?
I don't like it.
The more you save on insurance, the more you'll have for football. Drivers who switch their home and auto to Allstate saved an average of $503 a year. Are you in good hands?
Ooh, creamy brulee.
Our most successful tent sale ever has ended. At Ray Skillman, we've traded for a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner cars, trucks, and SUVs, domestics and imports. Go south and save thousands. Don't miss this opportunity to take advantage of these one-owner tent sale trade-ins. Only at Ray Skillman Buick GMC Truck and Southside Imports, just 1/2 mile north of the Greenwood Park Mall on US 31 South. Hurry, the sale is on, and they won't last long. And Ray Skillman has over 1,200 other certified used cars to choose from.
For just 2% of a typical school's budget, high school sports give us plenty of energy and excitement. For just 2%, they also give us young people whose leadership and commitment to excellence will pay big dividends in our community for years to come. 2%, that's one investment we can all feel good about. High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure launching pad for life.
Welcome to the Ray Skillman Automotive Group halftime show. Ray Skillman, a proud supporter of Center Grove Trojan football. Ray Skillman, where we stack them deep and sell them cheap. Here at halftime, the Center Grove Trojans ranked number 2 in the state of Indiana, leading the 6th-ranked Pike Red Devils 7-0. And a special night tonight. Not only is it Center Grove Band and Football Night, but also the Center Grove Middle School teams being recognized as well. And we've invited some of the, actually all 4 of the middle school coaches to join me here at halftime. First one up is the 8th grade coach at Central Middle School, Brandon Painter. And Coach, man, what just your thoughts about this first half? Got a little sloppy.
Yeah, not normal for our team to be sloppy. We definitely had some opportunities that we missed out on. Took advantage of some opportunities. Our defense has been outstanding, giving up some yards but made plays when they need to. Offense had some chances, and they'll fix it. They always do and come out second half strong.
Brandon, get us caught up to date on Central 8th grade football. I know you're about probably almost to the halfway point in the season, and just get us up to date how you guys are doing so far this year.
Time-wise for the season, we're a little over halfway. Game-wise, we had one canceled and then rescheduled later, so we're not quite halfway on our games. 2-2, played some really tough teams, played both Ben Davis' schools, a solid Whiteland team and then an Avon team, and took Whiteland to overtime and lost that one, unfortunately, but we've got two good wins under our belt and a good one tomorrow morning against Terre Haute North that's coming over here. So we're getting better, and that's what we want to see. They're one game ahead of their record from last year, so we're making improvements, and I'm really proud of their effort right now.
I'll say, Coach, being an 8th grade coach, you got these young men for this year, but I know a big part of it is you want to prepare them for freshman football, to get ready for the high school level. And what things do you try to do to get them ready?
Well, obviously, the coaching staff, the high school coaching staff, is very supportive of us. Gives us opportunities that I try to take advantage of. Working camps, Coach Moore does Monday night mini camps through the summer, 4 or 5 times a summer for the middle school kids, and takes extra time, and he and his staff to work with these kids to make sure that they're getting the right coaching. And I try to take advantage of that and go whenever I can, because I'm going to learn from obviously one of the best high school coaching staffs in the state, and that's a great opportunity for me to learn as well and just pass that down to my kids. So I've tried to do that over this is my 6 years coaching, and hope to continue to do that for a while now.
And next month, of course, you'll conclude the season right here at Ray-Skillman Stadium with the rivalry game, if you will. That's when Central takes on North, and that's always a special evening of football. Usually draws about almost 2,000 fans. I know last year we had a huge crowd, but it's a special event for the community.
Yeah, it's great that they allow us to host that up here. Especially knowing for the 8th graders that's their last middle school game, and the next game they play, they're going to be playing up here anyway. So it's a great night. It's great football to watch. I think our middle school staffs do better than anybody else in the state, and to preparing our kids for the program, teaching them the right ways to play. And it definitely shows when we play each other. It's always our toughest game because North's always the most disciplined team we play all year. So a lot of fun, and we hope everybody comes out and watches.
Yeah, it's a splendid evening of football, that's for sure. Coach Painter, thanks for joining me here at halftime. Continued success with the rest of the season.
Hey, thank you very much, and thanks for everything you do for Trojan football.
All right. Brandon Painter, the 8th grade coach of the Center Grove Middle School Central program, joining us here at halftime. Again, tonight it is middle school night, and now joining us is the 7th grade head coach at Central Middle School, Zach Watson. And Zach, you're no stranger to Center Grove football. You've been out here many Friday nights, haven't you?
Yes, sir. Graduated in 2006, so I played center, a couple years varsity. Played all the way through, though. 2nd grade all and up, so been around Center Grove football for a while, absolutely.
And I've seen you out here officiating a few football games along the way.
Yeah, I had to get a ref to fill my place tonight. I was supposed to be at Noblesville, Lafayette, Jeff, so had to fill in the night so I could be here for middle school night. It might be the only game I get to see live this year, so very thankful the putting it online, because I watch it the next day, and very helpful. So it's a great feature, absolutely.
Zach, like I mentioned, you're the head coach this year with the 7th grade program at Central Middle School. Get us caught up to date on how things are going for you this season.
Yeah, it's exciting. We got 54 players on our team, so practices are always intense, and we're getting after it. A lot of competition for spots. I don't know if we've lined up the same 11 guys on offense and defense. We're 3-1 at the moment with our A team. Our B team's 2-2. So we're having a great year. Like I said, there's a lot of competition. Minimal guys going both ways. It's a lot of guys getting game reps and learning positions. So it's just a lot of fun. Come out and play football every day.
I know something that probably makes your job a little bit easier is the Bantam program. Again, they get these youngsters prepared for 7th grade football. So when they come in, these youngsters pretty much know how to run the wing tee offense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of our base plays, the sweeps and the bellies, the ices, there's a lot of things that they know. Defensive-wise, they know where to line up at. That's what makes it fun, though. Playing 7th grade football, you can kind of play different positions. There's a weight limit and stuff like that when you're in middle or 5th and 6th grade and all the way down. So it's fun having guys try out new positions. And then, believe it or not, with as great of a Bantam League program as we have 5-6 guys playing their first year of football. So when we lined up the first night and played our game, they played their first football game they've ever played, and they're coming along too. So it's always fun. So I always tell people, that when I played in middle school, there was 17, or by the time we were seniors, there were 17 of us, and 11 of us played B football in middle school. So you never know who's going to come out and be impressive. And so all those guys learning from second grade on up, or those new guys, they're all going to contribute when they get to high school.
Also, Zach, Coach Eric Moore, he's so involved with the Bantam program, but also with the middle school programs. I know during the summertime he invites a lot of the players over on a Monday night to work out here and do certain things. But, again, he is so involved all the way through.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it helps us out as coaches, absolutely, because when they come to that, when the kids come to that stuff during the middle school, during the summer stuff, and then they hear us middle school coaches reinforcing what Coach Moore said during the summertime, it only helps us out to get what we want to get done. So they know that it's all coming from Coach Moore on down, and they know that he's invested in them, and they're excited. So they always kind of pep up whenever he's around. So they enjoy his presence, absolutely.
All right, Zach Watson, continued success.
Appreciate it. Thanks, sir.
All right, Coach Zach Watson, the 7th grade coach at Center Grove Middle School Central, joined us here at halftime. Next up, we'll now talk to the 8th grade coach at Center Grove Middle School North, Travis McMahon. And Coach, tell us about the season for your North squad. I know you guys got a good win this week.
Oh yeah, big win. We're turning the corner, working really hard. Kids are getting better every week. They're a fantastic group to be around. Great boys. So one of the first time in my career, we got an email from the opposing team's school board president complimenting us on our character during the game, so that was fantastic. But we're rolling right now. Had a fantastic week of practice. We've been close all season, losing games by 2 points, by 4 points, and it was just mental errors. We're tough enough to play with anybody, and we're just on the cusp, I think, of doing some real good things.
Also coming up next month, I know you got some more games to play, but we talked about that rivalry game right here at Ray Skillman Stadium. What a great way to conclude the regular season, especially for your 8th graders, their final game in middle school football. You play against Central, but I know you always like to ramp up your team for that big game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, there's not a bigger night in middle school football in this town than that night when you get 1,500 people out to watch an 8th grade and 7th grade game. The entire community comes out. It's a celebration of Trojan football, and the best thing about that night, in the words of Aaron Holt, is the next day.
That's true. They're all Trojans the next day.
Yeah,
they're all one.
We enjoy it. It's a great sibling rivalry. I've been a part of all but probably about 3 of them. So it's just it's a great time, and hopefully it's a good game on top of everything else.
Let's say, Travis, you spent several years with Coach Moore and his staff at the high school level, and so you know what it takes to prepare your players for the next level. But what are some things you work on to try and get your guys ready to go for high school football?
For high school, we really attack the mental part of the game. I mean, that is the thing that most kids going into high school, they're not ready for. Whether it's scheme, whether it's, hey, the high school coach is going to expect you to do this. That's why we're teaching you this. So we may not get after them, so to speak, as much as the high school coach, but we say, listen, you have to be ready for this, because if you're not, you're probably not going to see the field that much. So we work a lot of scheme. We work a lot of conditioning and then playing and then practicing. So being able to do things when you're tired. I think for the young guys more than anything else, when they get tired, that's when they break down. Well, unfortunately, at the high school, you're going to be playing against the best athletes in the state, and you're not going to be the best athlete. And you've got to be able to do things when you're tired. And if you're strong when you're tired, you're going to be strong during the rest of the game. And I think that's the big thing that we're dealing with here. Everybody asks, how does Center Grove hang in there? And I think it's the way that we ingrain in them how to practice. When you have to practice against the wing tee for 40, 50 plays a day in practice, and you're expected to, everybody on the team is expected to block, everybody on the team is expected to tackle, and everybody is on the team is expected to execute, or you're not gonna play. And when we put that type of pressure on them to execute in all scenarios, I think that is a key thing that I've always worked on at that level.
Also, Coach McMahon, you've got one of the greatest assistant coaches, one of the all-time great Center Grove offensive linemen, and John Summers. I know he's been with you for a long time, and John couldn't be here tonight, but I know he's going to watch this webcast. But he does a great job for you, doesn't he?
Oh, he's fantastic. John and I have been together for longer than most marriages last. And John and I have our little scuffles there here and there too, just like a married couple.
Sure.
But John's phenomenal. I just basically let him go in his own little corner of the field and have at it. We know what each other's thinking. He knows how to teach it. And he's great with the boys. I think that's the best attribute that John has. Is the kids just love playing for him, and he's got that personality that middle school kids absolutely love. They fear him, but they love him.
Sure. Travis McMahon, 8th grade coach at North. Hey, thanks for joining me here at halftime. Good luck rest of the season.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.
All right, Travis McMahon joining us for a few minutes here at intermission, and now we'll finish up with the 7th grade coach at Center Grove Middle School North, Ed Brickley. And Coach Brickley, again, you're no stranger to Center Grove football. I know this is your first year coaching middle school football at North, but you've been a part of the Bantam program. Your son Eddie played for Coach Moore the last couple of years as a defensive back. So just tell me how things are going for you this year in your first year at North.
Things are going really good. I'll try to get through the interview. I'm kind of getting over a little case of laryngitis here. But things are going really good. The boys are working hard. Such an improvement from day one where we're at now. The boys just continue to fight to get better, and they become such a close group of boys. I mean, there were certain boys that just moved into the school district that really didn't know anybody, and they've been welcomed with open arms. Our A team is 5-1 right now. We're going through a little bit of injuries, but we got kids that are stepping up and filling in for them. Our B team is 2-0-1. And really great strides with our B team. Those boys are really working hard and being great on our scout team, making our A team much better.
I would say the injury bug has kind of crept up on you here in the last week or so, and I know that's an opportunity maybe for the next guy to step up and get a chance to perform.
Yeah, when we've talked about that at practice, we've so far we've lost our starting quarterback, our starting tight end, our starting defensive end. We had a couple other kids that are dinged up for about 5 or 6 days. But we just told the other boys, I mean, this is what you work for all summer long, and throughout practice you got to show that you've got enough to be out there to play when you need you. And when somebody goes down, they've really stepped up, and some kids are playing positions they've only practiced for about 2 days on, and boy, they're really shining because they're, like I said, they're a great group of kids that really focus and practice, and they pick up things really, really quickly. But I think that goes back to our great feeder program down at the Bantam Fields. I mean, we get great kids, and what we do at 7th grade is try to make them better, try to keep them involved in football, because we know boys develop both physically and emotionally at different times in their life. And if we can keep them involved in football to get into high school, maybe that's the time when they really get a chance to shine.
Ed, again, like I mentioned, your first year at North, something special. It's always special, and you know about it, is the rivalry game. It's always great when Central and North play. That'll be the final game of the regular season coming up in October, played right here at Ray Skillman Stadium. But I know that's going to be something that you're going to look forward to, and obviously your team as well.
Yeah, it's a great tradition here at Center Grove. I've saw my middle son Eddie graduated this year. He played in the 8th grade game. I got an 8th grader now, Patrick, who plays for North, playing in the game, and it's a great atmosphere. It's what you see in the movies. I mean, Center Grove is like that small town Friday night football, but we do it at the middle school level too, and it's such an exciting experience for the boys. And then they get to see the kids that they've grown up with, and they just don't see as much by going to different schools. And the stands are just filled with people, and the cheerleaders, and just the excitement over it. It's unbelievable atmosphere, and unfortunately not a lot of kids in our state get to see it, but I'm very thankful that our boys do.
Ed, we appreciate you taking time, being with us here at halftime. Continued success, 5-1. You guys got things rolling.
All right, thank you very much, guys.
All right, Ed Brickley joined us here at halftime. He is the head coach at Center Grove Middle School North. Again tonight, not only Center Grove Bantam football night, but also Center Grove Middle School night as well. So we really appreciate all 4 coaches, Ed Brickley, Travis McMahon, Zach Watson, and Brandon Painter, join us here at intermission. Well, the horn by Chris Hudson means that's the end of halftime. The Trojans leading the Pike Red Devils 7-0 here at intermission. That will conclude our Ray Skillman Automotive Group halftime show. Ray Skillman, where we stack them deep and sell them cheap. And Ted Kitchell now rejoins me. And Ted, again, the story from the first half. Game started off pretty well in the first quarter, but things got sloppy. I've got Pike with 3 turnovers here in the first half, and for the Center Grove Trojans, the 1 turnover. So again, neither team played quite up to their capabilities, but you still got 2 quarters to play here in the second half.
Yeah, and I'm sure that Eric will make some great adjustments. We were standing back there as you were doing your interviews, and it's 7-0, and there's only been 1 punt in the game. Usually, if by this time in the game you've only had 1 punt, it's 35-28, or either that or you've had a bunch of turnovers. Neither team's really turned the ball over too much, but it's just it's gotten sloppy. I mean, teams have moved the ball from 20 to 20, but they get in the red zone and they're just not putting it in the end zone. But we know nobody does a better job of making adjustments at halftime than Eric does, as far as in the high school ranks, and he's won a lot of games after halftime, and I'm sure that Center Grove will come out here and make the correct adjustments that they need to make. And I'd be very surprised if on the other side of the football, Pike doesn't start running the football up the middle. I mean, they're getting 4, 5, 6 yards every time they run it. I know they like to throw it around a little bit, but you have got to use that advantage you have on the offensive line and run the football.
Last time the Red Devils were here at Ray Skillman Stadium back in 2009. Center Grove won that game 24-7. Here at halftime, again, we're at 7-0. Yeah, Coach Derek Moyers, and knowing Coach Moyers a little bit, I know his background, Ted. He played at Hanover College. He was a wide receiver for Hanover, so I think his background is catching the football, so I'm wondering if that's just his style. I mean, he likes to throw the football. They like to spread you out, but you're right. I think that they could be very effective spreading Center Grove out defensively and then just running the football and make the Trojans chase their great athletes in space.
Well, I think the thing that says the most about it is they've got a average weight up front. They've got a 30-pound advantage versus the Center Grove offensive line. So they've got a huge advantage up front against that defensive line that Center Grove is putting in there. Now, obviously, on the other side of that, Center Grove has the quickness advantage up front. But usually in that battle, the big old bodies are going to win out, especially when you're only trying to get 4 or 5 yards a carry, and it makes it very, very difficult. Makes the defense have to make some adjustments and change some things. And so far, Pike has not made Eric have to do that. He's not made him have to put 6 or 7 guys in there to go against 5 linemen. 4th and 1, and they're back there throwing the football. So we'll see what type of adjustments are made. You do whatever you need to, whatever you need to try to get a W.
Warren Central at halftime leading Ben Davis 17-7. Center Grove here leading Pike 7-0. And Ted, it used to be the Big Four. Now you can call it maybe the Super Six, with Pike and Lawrence Central now in the conference on the Super Six playing each other tonight. The other matchup later tonight will be Carmel against Lawrence Central at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Well, this is just a brutal conference. I mean, this is like small college. I mean, the atmosphere is like small college. You're playing on turf. The crowds are better than small college. And the brand of football is every bit as good as small college. I mean, these kids can really play. I mean, I was looking at North Central today as far as their record, and I'm thinking, they might play some really good football and maybe not win a football game. There's just I guess Lawrence North, maybe they can beat Lawrence North. But
they're playing tonight.
So, you better take advantage of the opportunities that you get, because there's a lot of good football teams in this league.
Tonight's third quarter being presented by Pointer Sheet Metal. Sophomore Nathaniel Snyder will kick off to begin the second half, and he drives this one. It's going to be taken from the 7-yard line by number 11, Devin Pearson. He's a wide receiver trying to get outside, pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Great special teams play by the Trojans. With the tackle for the Trojans, Adam Luttgreen, junior linebacker. Red Devils, again, were able to move the football in the first half, but not able to put it in the end zone. They had 3 turnovers, a couple of interceptions, and 1 fumble. Brent Lyles, senior quarterback from shotgun formation. First play, they do try to run it left side of the line. Center Grove doing a good job plugging up the hole. Dylan Dallas at the bottom of the pile.
Well, they plugged the hole, but he still got 3 yards. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. If I'm that coach, if I'm Moyer on the other side, I'm going to continue. I'll take my 3 or 4 yards and make you stop me because I'm going to beat you up over the period of time.
Sanders picked up 3 yards, and now they go to Booth. He's got the first down, puts on the brakes, making some fantastic moves in the open field. Center Grove, they wrap him up at the 40-yard line.
Well, that's a guy that Center Grove wants to get a body on right away. I mean, he's a real talent, especially in open space. You could see now he's a guy that I don't think likes getting hit the way Center Grove's going to hit you. But Center Grove needs to pop him whenever they get the opportunity.
12 yards for Booth. First down for the Pike Red Devils, getting things started here in quarter number 3. Man in motion is Jared Ruth. Gets outside to the 45-yard line. Ruth with the run. He's a senior, 5'10", 145-pound wide receiver. Picks up 4 yards. Lyles looks to his sideline. Passes right at the first down marker. It is complete for a first down. Devin Pearson with the catch. Good yardage after the catch. He stepped out at the 41-yard line.
And here they go.
14-yard pickup.
I mean, it is off to the races from the 20-yard line all the way to the other 20, but so far when they get inside that other 20 have had no success.
McFactridge with the stop, and here comes Lyles. Great running lane.
Wow.
Trip down inside the 20. Picks up 23 yards.
I mean, this is a dangerous team. They're not a team that is really a well-oiled machine like you felt like Lawrence Central was last year, but this is a dangerous team. They have a lot of weapons, running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers. They've got some guys that can do some damage.
What can they do inside the 20? A quick pass going to the end zone, denied. That's number 11, Devin Pearson. Picks up another first down, 16 yards for Pearson.
Yeah, they're picking them up at about 16 to 20 yards a chunk right here the last 4 plays, and they are inside the 5 at about the 3.
They'll spot it at the 3. First and goal at the 3.
Now this is where you got 4 downs, and you tell those big linemen, let's run it forward.
Lyles, the quarterback, tries to run it. Hit hard in the hole
Somebody's
by Gavin
off.
Everett. Gavin Everett. And Kelsheimer lost his helmet.
He'll have to come out.
He quickly puts it on, trying to stay on the field, and the referees did spot it, and he has to come off the field.
Okay, Lyles didn't get in the end zone right there, but if I'm Pike, I'm going to try it 3 more times. I mean, tell Center Grove, my linemen are bigger and stronger, and eventually we're going to get in there.
1 yard for Lyles. Lyles, quarterback keeper, and no signal. I thought he got in.
I thought he did too.
No indication. Still no indication. I think they're going to move the ball back a little bit, and it's just going to be short. Now they give the indication, touchdown. That was pretty uneventful from the official standpoint. I guess they could not see it.
I think the guy to the right didn't want to call a touchdown, and you had 3 other officials standing there going, what are you looking at? And he finally got in there, and he was the guy they were looking at to make the call, and they finally kind of made the call for him. All 3 of them stuck their hands up in the air. Wow.
Chase Watkins to attempt the PAT kick. He is so-so on PAT kicks this season. That one, though, looked good, and it is good. So for Watkins, he's now 12 of 17 on PAT kicks this season. And makes it now a 7-7 ball game.
Yeah, you got a new game. So you've got hopefully Center Grove has made the adjustments needed offensively because they're going to have to put some points on the board here in the second half. Pike was very efficient as they moved down the field, both passing and running. So they obviously made the changes that they felt they needed to make to move the football. They had been moving it, not being able to get it in the end zone, but that time they had no problem getting it in the end zone, and you look up and it's 7-7 tie football game.
For the Red Devils, taking this opening drive, 8 plays, running the ball 5 times, threw it 3 times, 75 yards in a minute 21. Very efficient, didn't take long. Lyles, the quarterback, on a 2-yard touchdown run to tie the game at 7 apiece. And for Lyles, the senior quarterback, that's his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. Senior Chase Watkins, 6'2" kicker, puts it here on the right hash. Ryan Pendergraft back deep for the Trojans, along with Max Norris. Drives the football in the direction of Max Norris. At the goal line, Norris with great speed down the sideline and finally pushed out of bounds. Wow. He is truly like a rocket. He just exploded down the sideline for a 41-yard return.
Yeah, outstanding return. Gives Center Grove great field position, exactly what their offense needed as they come out here. Going to get the ball at the 41-yard line. They got 59 yards to move it into the end zone.
Ball just short of the 42. Vedeto splits out here to the left. Lane Morris and Max Norris in the backfield. It's Max Norris. He cuts it up. He cuts it back. He's hit from behind. He takes a big hit, but a big gainer for Max Norris. He's picking up his equipment. I think he may have lost a mouthpiece. He was hit hard.
Well, he did. He got it. The times when you get hit hardest is, there's a flag back there. It looks like it's going to be brought back all the way back.
Aaron Jones, linebacker, is the one that hit him hard.
But when you get hit the hardest is when you don't see the guy. I mean, he's looking at the guys up the field, and this guy comes from behind him at full speed and, really puts a shot on him. But it's a holding call on Center Grove, which that's about the 3rd or 4th holding call on Center Grove tonight. And you go back for the last 2 weeks, they've been able to overcome this, but you just can't continue to start 1st and 20.
Norris' 17-yard run taken away by the holding penalty. Now 1st and 20 at the Trojan 32-yard line.
In the spread.
Calvert looks here to the near side, goes underneath to Jacob Conrad for the reception. And the Trojan fans felt like he was slammed out of bounds excessively. No penalty. Tackle made by Anthony Green.
Center Grove makes it very difficult on the linebacker. They make that linebacker have to go out and cover that back out of the backfield, and most high school linebackers not really capable of doing that, and because of it, Center Grove able to pick up some good positive yards right there.
Anthony Green, strong safety, their leading tackler. Pickup of 8 yards for Conrad. 2nd and 12. O'Brien with the catch. Needs a couple of yards for the first down. He's going to be just a yard short. Couldn't quite get away from the tackler to pick up that first down, but it will be 3rd and a yard for the Center Grove Trojans.
Well done by the Center Grove offense, though, to give themselves an opportunity here. 3rd and 1, obviously. Again, they're in 4-down territory, so you got 2 downs to pick this up. They shouldn't have a problem picking this up at 3rd down and 1. Early on in the 3rd quarter, you just want to move the chains, continue to move the chains, keep that defense out there, wear them down a little bit, start doing the things, making the adjustments, running the things that you've made at halftime. I don't know if he fumbled that or not.
I think Luke Calvert just kept it. Forward progress. He has enough for the first down.
Yep.
Picks up a couple. I think he went on a quick snap count.
Well, a lot of time there's no snap count. You get up there, and as soon as everybody's set, you just kind of nudge the center, and he hikes the ball, and nobody else moves, so it makes it look kind of funny. But only the center and you and the nose guard are kind of going one-on-one.
Max Norris trying to get to the edge, and Norris could not get to the outside. And let's see if Norris got hurt on the run or not. He's back to his feet, but you're right. He is doing a little bit of a limp here going back to the huddle. Let's see if he remains in the ball game. Nope. He's going to exit out. And you heard Coach Moore talk about it in the pregame show about Mac's big, performance last week, but he also talked about keeping him healthy and staying strong and playing through the season because he's been nicked up the last couple of years where he's not been able to perform in every game. So 2nd and 13, a loss of 3. Calvert looks right across the middle. Now he's got to run the football, and good job by Calvert to get down, not take that big hit, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Max Norris, he needs to really mentally get himself prepared. I mean, there's not anything you can do if you've pulled something, if you pulled a groin or if you've hurt a knee or something like that. But at that position, you're going to get nicked up, and it becomes a thing of mental toughness and, just continuing to drag yourself out there.
On 3rd and 10, Calvert rolls, continues, trying to extend the play, sets the feet, throws it to Vedeto. It's knocked down.
He might be across the line by the time he threw. I don't know. Yeah, it's
Robert Williams knocked it down.
They're saying it's on them.
Flag down. Personal foul, roughing the passer against Pike. This should be enough for a first down.
Yeah. I mean, personal foul, I think it's automatic first down. So these officials have been watching the NFL referees. That whenever a quarterback gets knocked down, they call a roughing the passer. So,
and you got to wonder about the health of Luke Calvert. He's got his hands on his helmet. He's out there, but he took a shot. And with the penalty, first down for the Center Grove Trojans. Ball now at the Pike 32. Again, another mental mistake there by the Pike Red Devils. They had the Trojans stopped.
Well, I mean, once the quarterback gets out of the pocket and he's running, he's pretty much like a running back. I'm surprised that they called that. I mean, unless it was really late. I didn't see it. So, but usually once they get out of the pocket, they don't call that.
New set of downs for the Center Grove Trojans. 6:46 to play, third quarter. We're knotted at 7 apiece. Pike scoring on its first drive of the second half. This is Center Grove's first drive here in the third quarter. Center Grove scored its lone touchdown back in the first quarter. Lee Klinker scored on a 2-yard run. Handoff to Calvin Daggett. Met at the line of scrimmage. No opening there for Calvin Daggett.
You can see Lane Morris also limping. He is not at full strength either as he goes back into the huddle. Now, he doesn't take himself out just because he wants to stay in there and play, but he's not at full strength either.
Yeah, we saw Lane limp there late in the second quarter. I think he re-aggravated maybe that left foot. I think he's been battling a left foot problem.
Yeah, it looks like a left ankle.
Lane Morris laying up here at left wing back. Calvert to pass. Down and out, it is complete. Vedeto at the 26-yard line. Makes third down manageable now for the Center Grove Trojans. Vedeto, such a big target. He's got great speed, but he's also very tall at 6'4".
Seems to have very good hands. I mean, they throw it out there to him earlier in the game. He went up and just took it away from a defensive back. So I know he's a great hurdler and a great athlete, but seems to have some very good hands on him also. 3rd down and 5, probably in 4-down territory.
6 yards for Vedeto. Running play. A quick hitter. That is Lee Klinker, sophomore, picks up the first down, at the 15-yard line, but the play was over.
Yeah,
Play's over.
Ground caused the fumble, so he was on the ground by the time the ball came loose.
Ted, you just don't expect that quick hitter sometimes. You expect the end around or the delayed handoff, and bam, they run that fullback quickly right up the gut. 12 yards for Klinker.
And when they run straight ahead and nobody touches them, I mean, you can get 5 yards in a hurry.
They go right back to Lee Klinker, and the fullback doing a tremendous job spinning out of a tackle to get the extra 1 or 2 yards. He's inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line, picks up 7.
Well, a really nice job by the Center Grove offense coming out, needing to put points on the board, some type of points. field goal. Love to put a touchdown up there and an extra point, but they've done an outstanding job. They've had a couple third downs they needed to get through, and they've done it so far.
Man in motion. Daggett takes the handoff, cuts it up. He is hit at the line of scrimmage. It appeared he was going to have something there, and they close quickly. He does get 1 yard. Forward progress gets him to the 6-yard line, 1 yard. Again, closing quickly and making the tackle is Anthony Green, the safety. 3rd and 1. Center Grove needing 1 yard to pick up that first down. 6 yards for the score. What does Coach Moore have up his sleeve now? Clinker taken down behind the line of scrimmage, shooting through. Big number 93, Malik Miles, 5'11". He's a senior, 246 pounds.
Now what do you do?
4th and a long 1.
It's 4th and about 2 or 3 almost. I mean, he
looks
lost
like
a yard and a half there.
Yeah. They're going to, at the moment, Ted, they're going to line up to go for it unless they're going to try and draw him offside.
Yeah, I was very surprised he didn't take the field goal at the end of the half when he tried the little trick play, but you need points on the board.
They're going for it. Play action. Calvert throwing to the end zone. Did he come up with it? No. Incomplete pass. Looking for the big tight end in the end zone. Threw it low, could not come up with it.
Well, that's the one big difference that we haven't seen yet this year from the Center Grove team. This is a team that's 3-0. Offense, defense has been outstanding, but the kicking game that we've had over the past 3 or 4 years here was an automatic from about 25, 30, 35 yards, 3 points. We had guys who could really kick the football. They executed it very well. And we saw tonight he lost a little confidence when they got that kick blocked, and that's 2 other times he could have kicked field goals and decided not.
Cameron Tidd, the tight end, was the intended receiver. Turnover on down. Sanders with the run. Pike starting from its own 7-yard line.
Well, you really need to stay focused here if you're the defense. Don't fall asleep. Stay disciplined, doing the things that you need to do, because this team is full of athletes, and somebody gets an open space, and they could make things ugly real fast.
5 yards for Sanders. Ball at the Red Devil 12. Lyles calling the play at the line of scrimmage. Handoff. Sanders gets outside. Flag down. Holding here on the edge against the Pike Red Devils. Sanders had enough for the first down. It'll come back. A lot of holding calls against
both
teams tonight. The referees do not like to see the hands outside the shoulder pads. And sometimes they don't like it when the blockers extend their hands out like this, Ted, and again, they're looking for certain things, and if they don't like it, they're going to throw the yellow flag, and ball now just shy of the 5-yard line.
Well, in that case, both coaches are obviously pushing the envelope as far as doing as much as you can without getting called for a hold. Teams that like to run the football, you got to protect your quarterback, your runners, and things like that. But like you said, it could be a real iffy call. I mean, you could call holding on every play, and you could probably find a good case for somebody holding each and every time.
2nd and 13, running play up the gut. Ball to the 10-yard line. 5-yard pickup for Taylor Sanders. Brings up a critical 3rd down. The Trojan defense needs a stop. The punting game not real strong for Pike.
Well, if they're going to throw that little down and out route. They love that little route.
3rd and 8.
We got Booth here on our side.
Lyles, he's looking at Booth. He's under pressure. He's going to run the football. They grab him, and he's short of the first down. He's at the 15-yard line. Needed to get it to at least past the 17, close to the 18 for a first down. So they are short of the first down.
Here comes the kicking. I think here comes the punting team.
The punter
they
is
have yet
Chase
to punt tonight.
Watkins. Yeah, Chase Watkins. His number is not all that impressive at 28.9 average. His long is 37.
Yeah, there's been nothing really impressive about their kicking game tonight. So
and
luckily
Ted,
they haven't had to
pump
kick
this
much.
from his own 3. So now you're talking about a good snap.
Center Grove needs to come up and field this.
Good snap. Center Grove, no pressure.
Heck of a
and
kick.
He gets off a booming punt all the way back to the Center Grove 38. Here comes Ackerman, and he's chopped down across the 50.
Good field position, though, inside your own 50.
A Pike player down hurt at the 48-yard line at the end of the play on the tackle, and he is not moving much at all. A 47-yard punt, well done by Chase Watkins. That is his season long. And a 14-yard return by number 26, Ackerman. And Coach said in the pregame show how he's been so impressed with Ackerman and Pendergraft doing a great job returning punts all season long, but especially last week against the Carmel Greyhounds. He said they probably saved him, 60-some yards and just putting their nose up there and calling for a fair catch or trying to return the ball.
Well, it's just such an important play. I mean, the little things like that. See, Eric Moore teaches his kids. It's not just send somebody back there. I mean, he talks to them about what the importance. I mean, at this level, to win games, you've got to take advantage of every little opportunity. If you can save yourself 15 yards every time they punt the football, I mean, all of a sudden over a game of 4 or 5 punts, you're saving yourself 60, 70 yards. And Ackerman and the guys that have went back there have done an outstanding job for Center Grove this year.
Keith Corks, senior free safety, was the one that was injured on the play for Pike. Here comes Calvin Daggett outside, runs out of bounds across the 40. Eight yards for Daggett. Some key players being injured tonight for both squads. This is what happens when you get in these very physical type football games.
And you get into the week 4 or 5 and even later, it really takes a toll on your team.
First run of the night for number 22.
Late flag.
Lee Klinker, that's several runs now for Lee Klinker tonight. He's a sophomore, and a late flag. Flag at the 40-yard line.
It's a hold.
The line of scrimmage, holding against the Center Grove Trojans.
Center Grove not happy. Obviously, our fans not happy either, but it was a very late flag. I mean, the flag didn't come out until they had already tackled him downfield. So it's from the spot, so it looks like it's going to be about second down and about 12.
Klinker had a 12-yard run taken away by the penalty. Ball now at the 50.
A little surprised Pike continues to even look at Lane Morris. I mean, they're using him nothing more than a decoy right now. I mean, he's limping around. Little surprised Eric has him in the game, other than you probably need a couple guys in there you feel confident running all the fakes and doing the things that you need to do. But if I don't know if I'm right or not, but I don't think he's carried the ball here in the second half.
Don't believe so, but if he's effective blocking, which I know he's a great blocker, if he's able to block, then
well, exactly.
Keep him
You're
in there
exactly
for blocking
right.
purposes. We have 20 seconds to play here in the third quarter. We're tied at 7 apiece. Devin Hensley with the catch. Taken down at the 35-yard line. First down, Center Grove. 16 seconds to play in the third. They'll mark it at the 34-yard line. 16 yards for Devin Hensley. Second drive of the second half for the Center Grove Trojans. The first one. Turnover on downs. See if the Trojans can come up with a score here on this drive. Counter crisscross. Calvin Daggett tripped up. Otherwise, he had a big one going. Still a good gain for Calvin Daggett, 7 yards. Shoe top tackle by the Red Devils. And that brings us to the end of the third quarter here at Ray Skillman Stadium. We're all tied at 7 apiece. We'll take a break. This is Center Grove Trojan football.
Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. He's got SUVs, crossovers, long bed, short bed, flatbed, dump cab, crew cab, in the cab, half-ton, three-quarter ton, one-ton, high cube van, cargo van, diesel engine, gas in the stock, or custom in the color you want, man. Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. Ray Skillman's got your truck, man.
Tonight's Center Grove football game is being presented by Precision Transportation Solutions, Allstate Insurance, Bontrager Agency of Greenwood, Pointer Sheet Metal, Global Financial Solutions, by Jets Pizza, and New 5 Creative. Kevin Conrad, Ted Kitchell, Rick Embry with you as we move into the fourth quarter, tied at 7 apiece. Center Grove and Pike battling. There have been some miscues tonight by both teams, but it's been very, very physical. Each team suffering some dinged-up players, but now it's all about heart here in the final 12 minutes. Center Grove with the football, 2nd and 3, going to the sophomore fullback. He is hit behind the line of scrimmage, maybe got a half yard, no gain for Klinker. So now it's going to be 3rd and call it 3 yards.
Some really good high school football. Two really good teams, good athletes, well-prepared teams, and I'm just amazed that you can watch this type of football at this level. I mean, these kids can really play.
Tonight's fourth quarter being presented by Global Financial Solutions. 3rd and 3 at the Pike 27 running play. Daggett sprints to the outside, trying to get 3 yards for the first down. Did he get enough?
Wow, he's right on the line.
He got it to the 25. It comes down to the all-important spot. Let's see where they put the football.
Looks like he's short.
Right at the 25. And, Ted, I think they got to get it to the other side of the 25, closer to the 24, for the first down.
Well, you got to just run a quarterback sneak here. I don't think you take the chance of taking it in the backfield. I think you just somebody's calling a timeout. Eric.
Nope, an official's timeout. 4th and 1. 4th and 1.
I don't know if Eric wants a measurement or Eric has a question. He's out on the field, and we got 3 of them asking what's going on here. Might be a time issue.
10:49 to play here in the fourth quarter. Just getting things started in the final quarter. Tied at 7 apiece. Center Grove 2-0 in the conference. Pike 1-0.
They put about 6 seconds back on the clock.
Daggett picks up a couple. Center Grove winning on the road in the mix so far this year at Warren Central in week 1. Week 3 last Friday night at Carmel. Now trying to win its first home conference game of the season. Hand off, turning it up, and he will get the first down. Paid the price.
Wow.
Paid the price.
I can't believe that they ran that play. I mean, when you run that play in that situation, you're really looking for some big yardage because you're expecting the team to take away the dive or the quarterback sneak. I mean, they went 5 yards in the backfield and handed that ball off. Great job by the offensive line to get him a hole and get him the first down.
Calvin Daggett picks up 2. Very impressive run by Daggett. Play action, going to the end zone, and now they're going to throw that one, I believe, on Matt O'Brien. He threw the defender down.
And it's probably a good thing he did because that defender was eating up that one. It looked like he was going to intercept that ball if he didn't knock him down.
Excuse me, that's going to be Devin Hensley, number 5, not number 9. My eyes and my old age failing me. Are they going to wave it off, Ted? Let's see. Is it against Pike? Unless initially it could have gone against Pike, and then toward the end of the play, I thought Hensley may have interfered back, but what's the call, Ted?
Well, it looks like it's interference on Pike. From our vantage point now, it's all the way in the other corner of the end zone. I mean, it's hard to see, and you couldn't see right away, but it looked like Devin, was the one who cleared himself, and but it looks like they're going to call pass interference on Pike.
Hensley was trying to come out of his break, Ted, and was not able to, and possibly he could have been held as he was trying to come out of the break, and I think we kind of saw the aftermath in which we saw Hensley then kind of fall and rip back at the Pike defender. And it is against the Pike Red Devils, and they'll put the ball at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, remember in high school and college, it's a yardage penalty. It's not a spot foul like it is in the NFL.
1st and 10. Running play, they go right back to Daggett. He gets by 2 tacklers, trying to get by a 3rd tackler, and cannot. Daggett is showing me something tonight, Ted. We knew his brother Jimmy Daggett, of course, ran so hard, and Calvin tonight is running hard, whether it's just 2 yards or 5 yards, but he is getting some very difficult yards right now for Center Grove.
Yeah, these yards are going to be tough right here. I mean, Luke needs to get in there and talk to his offensive line about, you guys have got to really push the pile here and move this line because these Pike kids are really big and strong, and they have not been able – it's not been easy to move them down here in this position tonight.
Ball at the 7, 2nd down and 5. Inside 10 minutes to play. Center Grove looking to take the lead. A quick handoff. I believe that's Klinker, the fullback. Minimal gain for Klinker.
I think you're going to have to throw it to get it in the end zone. I don't think you're going to be able to run it unless you run wide, and you don't have the guy that we need to run wide, Max Norris, right now. And I see 3 wide receivers going in. I see O'Brien, I see Hensley, and I see Doyle all in the football game, and 29. So we got 4 wides.
3rd and 4. Ball at the Pike 6-yard line. Calvert looking right, still looking, going to run the football. Touchdown! Touchdown, Luke Calvert.
Got it in the corner of the end zone, did a nice job of spreading them out and able to sneak in the corner of the end zone. I think you're going to find out in the next 9 minutes and 10 seconds that that's an awfully big drive by this Center Grove football team.
Luke Calvert scores for the Center Grove Trojans, putting them in front 13-7.
Important extra point right here. In games like this, tight games, good snap, good hold, good kick.
The kick by Seth Northern is good. Seth, perfect on the season. He is now 19 of 19 on extra point kicks for the Trojans. It's 14-7 Trojans.
Well, that was an awfully good drive by Luke. Luke's done a great job all year. He's really masterminds the offense, gets them moving in a good rhythm back there. He's not got 2 of his big guns, Lane Morris, and Max Norris. Neither one are out there right now. And, the thing in the NFL, they always say next man up. Well, here at Center Grove, it's been next man up, and Daggett has stepped up and done the job, and Klinker has stepped up and done the job. They've just done whatever they needed to put themselves in a position to hopefully win this football game.
And that's another $10 for the Tyler Jennikin Foundation to aid in the fight against cancer. The $10 being donated by the Cedar Grove Gridiron Club. $20 tonight. Trojans a couple of scores. 9 plays for the Trojans, 8 on the ground, 1 through the air, 48 yards in 3 minutes, 40 seconds. Calvert on a 7-yard touchdown run, putting Center Grove in front 14-7. It's always eventful, Ted, with the kickoffs. Let's see what Snyder might have up his sleeve on this one.
Downwind.
It's high down the middle. It's going to be returnable from the 10. And they rip him down at the 20. Very, very well done by the Center Grove Trojans. Great special teams with the tackle for the Center Grove Trojans, Zach Hart. Zach Hart, a junior defensive back, takes down Devin Pearson. They'll mark it at the 21-yard line.
Well, now let's see what this Pike team has up their sleeve. I mean, obviously they've been able to move the ball at will up and down the game or field from 20 to 20. Hadn't been able to get it in the end zone until the last time, but let's see if they come out running the football or they come out slinging it. You never know. They can do both.
9 minutes to play in the ball game. Center Grove in front by a touchdown. Handoff to the man in motion right up the middle.
Right up the middle for about 7 yards, and that's a pretty good start for Pike.
8 yards for
team that
the Pike Red Devils.
They do not huddle. It's not like they play real fast like Oregon or Chip Kelly likes to play, or now with the Eagles, but they do not huddle.
Lyles, the quarterback, hands it off to his running back. First down for the Red Devils.
I mean, obviously they can do here whatever they would like, whether it be throw the football. If they want to try to run it 15 plays down the field, they can do that too. So Center Grove's going to have to step up. There's plenty of time still left, 8 minutes left in the football game. So Center Grove's going to have to step up and do something to make a stop here.
Wilkerson picks up the run. Wilkerson picks up the first down with that 3-yard gain. 8:25 and counting, fourth quarter. New set of downs for the Red Devils at their own 32. Lyles hands it off again to Booth. He is hit hard at the 35-yard line, pushed back. Again, Booth is probably their best athlete on the field, Ted. He has not caught very many passes tonight, so now all of a sudden they're trying to put him in motion and hand the ball off to him to get him more involved here with the offense.
But he's not a guy that really likes to get hit either. You can tell he's not, in comparison to the Wilkerson kid, who he'll really take it up in there at 21 the same way. Here's Wilkerson right up the middle.
Wilkerson picks up another first down.
Center Grove is going to have to do something because Pike is determined that they're going to run the football right now, and they're picking up 5, 6, 7 yards a carry. So you're either going to have to put more guys in there, you're going to have to blitz, you're going to have to shoot the gaps, you're going to have to do something here to stop this running game.
8 yards for Wilkerson. Lyles on the move, passing, and a big hit on Booth. He is hit out of bounds. He held on to it at the 35-yard line. Ackerman delivers the big blow. The question is, did Booth get up and did he return to the playing field? He is on the field at the moment. Now he'll go to the sideline to sit this next play out.
If he's going to play in the SEC, he better get used to hits like that because they'll be coming a lot.
Coming from your left, your right, from behind, in front.
Every day in practice.
At the Trojan 34, new set of downs here for the Pike Red Devils. Center Grove defense needs a big play, a big stop. Last week against Carmel, it was Pendy forcing a fumble, recovered by Kelsheimer, and another big hit, incomplete pass. Good hit by the Center Grove Trojans. Was that Ackerman again?
34.
Nope, Ryan Pendergraft with a nice hit.
It was a good hit. He really put a good stick on him. Nothing dirty about it. He just stuck him hard. Receiver not really wanting to, kind of had the alligator arms going right there as he reached for that pass.
Devin Pearson, intended receiver, inside handoff. They fake it. Lyles takes it.
Do you feel like that wasn't a real successful play, but he still got about 5 yards? I mean, they just get such a big push.
Luttgring, linebacker, made the tackle. 3rd and 5. Most likely 4-down territory for the Pike Red Devils. Late in the ball game, 7 minutes to play. They're down 14-7. Across the middle, pass is complete. First down. Booth with the reception. 6 yards for Dominic Booth, and he limps to the sideline.
Limps off. So
he's taking a couple of big hits, but he makes the catch for the first down.
He just makes appearances when he needs it, when they need him.
He extends the drive.
Well, you would think down in here that Pike would just continue to run the ball right up over the center, but they keep throwing it.
Lyles pumps it, now wants to go to the end zone. He's under pressure, and he runs out of the pocket and now just throws it out of bounds. Well done by Lyles. Dylan Dallas nearly came up with the sack.
Yeah, and he almost knocked the ball out of his hand. I mean, both. He almost got a hold of his arm and sacked him, and then he almost knocked the ball out of his hand instead. Lyle's able to get away and come back for another day here of a 2nd down and 10.
Dylan Dallas leads Center Grove with 3.5 sacks. Warren Central, nice size lead over Ben Davis, 24-7. That's after 3 quarters. 2nd and 10. Lyle's in trouble, and Dylan Dallas just got his 4.5 sack of the season. Amaro almost got him first, and then comes in the senior Dylan Dallas to clean it up for the sack.
Well, it's a great play by the Center Grove defense, no question about that. Dylan Dallas makes a play that needed to be made right there. He's going to make it about 3rd down and 20. But it is absolutely unbelievable to me that you can have the studs that you have up front for Pike and that you're back there throwing the football when it's 1st down and 10 on the 20-yard line and you're picking up 5 yards of carry. And I know that Eric Moore has to be down the sidelines thanking the Lord that they're not running the football if they continue to throw it around.
Loss of 11 yards, 3rd and 23. Ball at the Trojan 33-yard line, 5:45 and counting to play in the ball game. Passing play, it is complete down the middle of the football field for a 1st down to the 5-yard line. Taylor Sanders with the catch.
That's why Moyers is coaching and I'm up here with a mic in my hand, I guess.
28 yards for Sanders. What a pass by Lyles. He just lofted that one right down the middle of the field.
He just lofted it down there, and an athlete went up and got it. And it gives him a 1st and goal on about the 5.5, 6-yard line.
From the gun, Lyles keeps it. Bangs forward for a couple.
Well, this is what they did last time on the other end of the field when they scored. Lyles just continued to run the read option, and he was able to, on 3rd down, get it in the end zone. I'd be very surprised if they don't do it again, although they're 5 wide once again.
2nd and goal at the 3. Lyles going under center.
Probably sneak it.
Now he'll drop back to shotgun formation. Lyles running the football. He dives in, takes a hit.
Touchdown.
He's in there, touchdown. He took a hit from Aaron Hunt, and Lyles scores on a 3-yard touchdown run.
Be interesting to see if they decide to kick the extra point. They're not a great kicking team. It's not exactly what you would consider a well-oiled machine when it comes to kicking extra points. Last time Center Grove almost got through and blocked it. I would think they'll be licking their chops trying to get through and block this one right now.
12 of 17. He has missed 5 this year. This is Chase Watkins. A big one here, and I think he shanked it to the left. No good. Well done, Ted Kitchell.
Yeah, I was going to say, I watched him in warm-ups. It was ugly. He and the holder do not work very well together. The way they were moving the football, I was very surprised, and that's why I mentioned it. I was very surprised if I'm the coach and I'm on the road and I've got a little momentum, I think I go for 2. There's still plenty of time if you don't get it to still have a chance to score. And if you do get it, it really puts a lot of pressure on Center Grove. Instead, it worked totally against them, and now Eric Moore is going to get the football back, and his offense has been able to move it up and down the field pretty much all night.
14-13, Trojans by 1 for the Red Devils. Nice drive. It took 5 minutes, 13 seconds. They moved the ball 79 yards. 13 plays, 8 running, 5 passing. Lyles with a 3-yard touchdown run, his 2nd touchdown run of the night. Again, the PAT, though, no good. He shanked it to the left. So the Trojans clinging to a 1-point lead, 14-13.
Well, and if you're Center Grove, I mean, you have to be thankful that he missed that, and you're in a good position here. But if all of a sudden you lose focus and you don't get very good field position on this kick, or you go out and you give it up in 3 plays and have to punt it, we've seen this Pike team, a confident offensive team right now that can move the football up and down the field. So as an offense, you need to go out there and you need to be thinking about getting first downs, moving the chains, and doing whatever you can to keep that football.
Pendy and Vedeto back deep. It is a short kick taken at the 20-yard line. Titus McCoy, a freshman, across the 35-yard line. So
good field position.
11-yard return for Titus McCoy. Very good field position for the Center Grove Trojans.
The really good thing you see about Center Grove and the toughness of their kids is right there. You know, number 30, Titus McCoy, he's not the guy that's supposed to be getting a kick to. He's supposed to be one of the blockers. But if it does come my way, Eric Moore has told him, field the football and run it like you know what you're doing. I mean, don't be afraid. Don't fair catch it. You know, and because of it, they get good field position.
4 minutes, 45 seconds to play in the ball game. Calvin Daggett, he's been effective here in the fourth quarter on that particular run. He gets it across the 40 to the 41.
You want to be really good fundamentally right here. You picked up 5 solid first down yards right there. Make sure you don't get any holding calls, anything that's going to set you back. Continue to move downfield, moving the football, running downfield, downhill, trying to move those chains and pick up first downs.
Anthony Green with the stop. Daggett picks up 5 yards. Center Grove to pass.
He's open.
And he threw it across the middle, incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Center Grove Trojans. Tonight's fourth quarter being presented by Global Financial Solutions. Also, tonight's Center Grove football game is being produced by New 5 Creative. New 5 Creative is a web television and print solutions company. Find out more at new5creative.com or at 317-883-9010. New 5 Creative, Center Grove's trusted web design provider since 2007.
An interesting play call right here, 3rd down and 5. If you don't pick it up, you're probably going to have to punt.
On 3rd and 5, play action. Calvert looking right, pumps it, looking for something. Ad-libbing at this point, and he misses his receiver over the top. That was Justin Vedito, and Vedito thought he might have been interfered with, and Coach Moore thought he was too, but it's going to be now 4th and 5, and Ted, we will see the punting unit. Matt O'Brien comes out to punt this one away for the Trojans.
Well, the corner all night had been giving Vedito plenty of room right there. That time he really played him tight, bump and run coverage, and he just could not clear. They wanted to run down 10 yards to do the little hook, and he was not able to clear, and now Center Grove going to, as we talked about, 3 and out. Oh, bad snap.
Bad snap. O'Brien chases it down from his own 8. He punts it away, and he's interfered with, so we got a penalty against the Pike Red Devils. You cannot run into the punter, and they did. Unless you get a piece of the ball. If you do not get a piece of the ball, it will be interference against Pike, roughing the punter.
It's ugly, but that is the correct call. There's no question about it. Just because he isn't back there in the same position, I think sometimes people feel like you can knock him down. But when the reason they do that is when he's up in the air kicking the football, he doesn't get hurt.
Right, he's defenseless.
Exactly.
In a very
it doesn't matter
defenseless
where
position.
he is on the football field. Kevin is exactly right there. If you get a hand on the football, then it's okay. But Eric Moore out on the football field, as is Coach Moyer. He is also out in the football field, and neither one very happy.
Coach Moore out there just making sure the official does not change his mind, because right now Coach Moyer's giving that official an earful. But with the penalty, it's going to be enough for a Center Grove first down.
We've gotten used to Center Grove doing things so well fundamentally. All of a sudden, when the football is hiked, I mean, it was hiked 10 yards over his head. I mean, it wasn't even close. It was not even close, and for him to get back there, field the football, and actually take enough time, gather himself, punt the football away, was an outstanding job by the Center Grove
At the moment, they have the ball spotted at the Pike 41-yard line. Again, if everything stands with this penalty, it will be a Center Grove first down. Is it going to be a spot foul from where it actually was committed? Let's see what they're going to say here. Roughing the kicker or the punter.
You're right. From the original line. Here
they're going to take it from the line of scrimmage and mark it off. First down, Center Grove.
Wow. What
I believe it was number 7, Robert Williams. He's a senior defensive back that interfered with the punter, Matt O'Brien, because he stayed down there for some time. Robert Williams, number 7 for Pike, pleading his case with the official, but obviously did not win his case, and neither did Coach Derek Moyers. It will be a Trojan first down, ball now at the Pike 44.
It's not Friday the 13th. It's a lucky charm. I mean, it's unbelievable that a play like that turns out you end up gaining 15 yards and still have the football.
Clock rolls, 3.5 minutes to play. Fullback, Lee Klinker. Quick hitter, picks up good yardage on first down, 8 yards.
I mean, you don't need to score. All you need to do is just continue to move the chains. And so now they're looking at a situation where they got, 2nd and 1 right here. So that's the situation you want. You want to make that defense keep looking up there and watch the time keep running away from them. Some point in time, Pike will have to start taking timeouts.
Pike still with 3 timeouts.
Here you really want to watch that shot clock, and you want to take it all the way down. I mean, I would take it all the way down to 2 seconds before I hike it. He hiked it at 4.
Klinker looking for the first down. Got it. Picks up 2.5 yards. Center Grove first down, 2:49 to play in the fourth. Center Grove in front, 14-13. If you're just now joining us, the Center Grove Trojans led 14-7 here in the second half. The Red Devils score on a touchdown, but the PAT kick failed, and that's the 1-point difference in our game tonight. Clock rolls, 2.5 minutes to play.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get it down to about 2:20 right here.
Luke Calvert letting that play clock run down. 4 seconds, takes the snap. End around, Calvin Daggett has a few blockers in front of him. Gets it to the 30.
Timeout.
Timeout called by Pike, stopping the clock now with 2 minutes, 20 seconds. 4-yard pickup for Calvin Daggett. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the fourth. Tonight's pregame meal for our staff was provided by Jets Pizza. Jets Pizza is located on State Road 135 in the Colby Shops, just across from Bonefish Grill. Jets Pizza is open daily for lunch and dinner. Call 317-881-5387. That's 317-881-JETS for pickup or delivery. Jets Pizza, life is short. Eat better pizza. Ted Minnie said this probably will be Center Grove's biggest and best matchup of the season up to this point. Many think Pike may be even better than Warren Central and Carmel.
Well, they're a lot better than I expected, but before I, got into looking at the stats and everything they had done and who they had played, I just kind of felt like, okay, Center Grove's playing at home. They're probably going to have a game that it'll be competitive, but a game that they'll easily win. Once I started looking at the stats and what was going on and the bodies that these people had, I came and I told you, I said I was very impressed with they've put a lot of numbers on the board. Doesn't seem to be afraid who they're playing, where they're playing. I've been very impressed. They're a very good football team, very dangerous, just a dangerous team as far as they can run, they can pass, give you so many different looks. Will they be better than Warren Central at the end of the year? I would say I would take Warren Central probably at the end of the year, but right now this Pike team is very good.
On 2nd and 6, play action. Calvert goes on a screen pass to Daggett. Flag down in the vicinity of a holding call against the Center Grove Trojans. Pretty gutsy call by Coach Moore on 2nd down. He felt like they needed to go with the pass to try and pick up that first down. It backfires with the holding call.
Yeah, I don't know if in his thinking it's that they need to do that, or if he thinks it would be such a surprise to Moyer and his staff because they know that you want to keep it on the ground and you want to keep that clock running. I think it's more of a surprise issue more than anything else and that's the reason he runs a pass play right there.
The clock reads 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Center Grove 14, Pike 13. Trying to sort this penalty out. Coach Moyers again on the field. Holding against Center Grove.
Well, the thing is, they're wondering if they should take the penalty is what he's wondering, because if they decline it, then see that's one more down closer for them getting the football. They're trying to get a hold of the football. So If they take the penalty, it's 2nd down and 18 instead. They've decided that it's more important to try to stop them right here and try to get the football back in their hands as soon as possible.
3rd and 9. Loss of a couple of yards on the play for the Trojans.
Timeout, Pike.
Ted, next week for the Center Grove Trojans, going to number 1 Lawrence Central. Of course, the Bears put the Trojans out in the semi-state right here at Ray Skillman's last season, so it could potentially be 1 versus 2. Of course, Center Grove needs to hang on here against Pike, and Lawrence Central kicking off against Carmel at Lucas Oil Stadium at 9:18, the official kickoff now. And but anyway, it's going to be what should be a great matchup next week at Lawrence Central.
No question. They were the most dominant team I've seen for a while, maybe going back to the Warren Central teams that were just so dominant. But they would come in here, and it was a team that you really weren't that impressed by when you watched them warm up, and all of a sudden, it's the end. It's halftime, and you're going in, and it's 21-7. At the end of the game, it's 35-14, and they've just pretty much pummeled you the entire game. A little bit, this team reminds me a little bit of them, the way they can push you around and the way they dominate the offensive line. Lawrence Central seems to be a little bit more disciplined in their play, and I didn't know if they would be able to continue with that when they lost their coach to Warren Central, but obviously the new coach there has come in. He's done an outstanding job, and they've continued to play outstanding football.
This is only Center Grove's 3rd offensive drive, I do believe, here in the second half, and they're faced with a 3rd and 9. Calvert from shotgun formation. Quick handoff to the fullback. That's Lee Klinker. Another flag thrown on the play. It's either face mask or holding.
It's probably going to be holding. And now if you're Coach Moyer, you're over there, it's
holding against Center Grove. So you're right, Ted. If he declines it, it'll be 4th and
about 4.
I thought it was closer to 5 or 6. Well, where do they spot the football? We got to see where they put the football.
Yeah, about 5, it looks like. Decline.
So 4th
and about 5.
Timeout.
2 minutes and 4 seconds left on the clock.
Timeout called by Coach Moyers, and that should be their final timeout.
So basically it comes down to, if you pick up the first down, game's over. I mean, you can pretty much, go to the favorite formation, finish it out, take a knee, victory formation, and move on. But if you don't get a first down, we saw how quickly Pike could move the ball up and down the field. They can throw the football, they can run the football, and so it becomes probably the biggest play of the game.
Two minutes, 4 seconds to play. Again, 3rd drive of the second half for the Trojans. They have not had many opportunities here in the second half.
I know that, Kevin, you're not a coach and I'm not a coach, but the coach is sitting in here right between us. Rick, he's the guy. I think they're 7-0 right now. Number 1 in the league. I wonder what he would call in this situation.
Tight end drag.
The tight end drag. What we saw so much with Wozniak last year, dragging across there. You look to the back in the open field and your tight end kind of drags across about 5, 6, 7 yards down the field. So Rick is saying that they're definitely throwing the football. I see Doyle's in the game, 10. I see Devon's in the game, number 5, 29. Looks like we're going 4 cross.
Center Grove needing 5 yards for the first down.
Sometimes Calvert really good running the football in this situation.
Calvert looking right, steps up, extends the play, throws underneath, and short hops Jay Doyle, the intended receiver. It's incomplete. Again, he couldn't quite set his feet to get much on it, Ted, and he short hops Doyle.
Well, there's 1:57 to go. I mean, you got to be real disciplined defensively now. You got to get out there. You got to, stay in your lanes, do the things that you do well. Do not let anyone get behind you. Obviously, Ackerman is the back man. He's back there in the safety position. You got to make sure nobody remind yourself of what great athletes are on the other side of that field. Number one in particular, Lyles has done a good job quarterback all night. You got 2 minutes. Got to make a play.
Pike, again, no timeouts remaining. Center Grove with 3 timeouts. Lyles, middle screen. It is complete to Sanders. Flag down. Should be holding against the Pike Red Devils. Big hit at the 40-yard line. Again, the officials not liking the way either team blocks.
Really a good call by Coach Moyer right there. He knew that Center Grove knows they're going to throw. They come out, they throw a little screen right over the middle. You would think it would be holding where it came from, but it was kind of a strange, I don't know. I really didn't get the feeling that it was a hold but
maybe I'm jumping the gun, but it's been holding most of the time tonight.
They're waving it off.
Now they're going to wave it off, so the play will stand. If the play stands, it'll be right around the 40-yard line.
Well, the guy's still out here. Yeah, it's right at the 40.
40, so it's a first
down.
down.
One official's still there.
And this allows Pike now to set up and get ready here offensively.
Well, Eric Moore must have been happy with the explanation. He didn't complain very long, so it must have been something that he could understand.
1:48 to play. Trojans clinging to a 1-point lead. Pike out of timeouts, needing 60 yards for a touchdown.
Boy, clock's running. I can't believe they're allowing this much time to run off the clock.
Also, Pike can win with a field goal, but they have struggled with the kicking game tonight. Down and out, quick pass, complete to Devin Pearson here on the near sideline. 7 yards for Pearson. He did get out of bounds, stopping the clock with 90 seconds to play. Center Grove trying to remain perfect on the season.
At some point in time, you would think Center Grove might send a blitz here and try to knock him down. No timeouts left. Try to get him on the ground.
Lyles, he is sandwiched. He threw the ball away. There's nobody in the vicinity, wide receiver-wise. They'll get him for grounding. Penalty flag down. Again, he threw it away. Grounding against Lyles. The closest receiver was Devin Pearson, but
now, is there
not
any
close
type
enough.
of runoff or anything like that? There's not, is there?
I believe once they blow the whistle here, Ted, they'll just
wind
the clock. Let's see, a minute 25 to
Still
play.
a minute 25.
5 seconds came off the clock with that play.
Is it a 10-yard penalty and loss of down, or is it just from a spot?
Loss of down.
That's what I thought. But they moved the ball back.
So the ball placed at the Trojan 36-yard line. 3rd and 15 is the call for Coach Moyers and the Red Devils.
Got to know where number 1 is on the field. You got to know where Booth is.
Lyles, plenty of time. Now being chased, throws it, and it is incomplete. Booth was his receiver.
He didn't even make an effort for that football. I mean, he could have dove for that football. He could have done a lot of things. I mean, it's a tough angle for us to see, but I mean, game's on the line. You do whatever you can to try to win the football game, and Booth didn't look like he made a very good effort right there.
4th and 15. 1:18 to play.
Boy, if I could, I'd like to flush him out of that pocket. He doesn't throw near as good on the run as he does setting.
He steps up and he throws it as he was hit out of bounds, incomplete. Center Grove takes over on downs. The Trojan defense makes a stand. Great pressure by the Center Grove D-line.
Yeah, the pressure
Dylan Dallas with
really
the pressure.
works on Lyles. He's just not near as effective when he's pressed out of the pocket or doing what he does. But still, it was very well done by the Center Grove defense. As we said, they came out, they knew what they had to do. There was only a minute 57 left. Now they've done it. They go into the victory formation. Another great victory, and Center Grove going to go home tonight 4-0.
The Red Devils are out of timeouts. So with 1:12.
Run about 3 plays here, and that'll be it.
Luke Calvert will begin the kneel down process. And the Red Devils try to shoot through as hard and as fast as they could to try and force a turnover. That was big number 93, Malik Miles, 246-pound defensive lineman, tried to get in there to cause a fumble. The Trojan offensive line, they got to continue to protect the quarterback. He's in there again, Miles. He's the nose tackle trying to get at Luke Calvert to try and force a fumble. 38 seconds to play, down to 5 on the play clock. And again, Luke Calvert takes the snap and takes a kneel down. 27, 26, 25. That's the ball game. 14-13 the final. The Center Grove Trojans hang on to beat the Pike Red Devils. What a ball game. Coach Derek Moyers and Center Grove head coach Eric Moore. Handshakes, midfield. Coach Moore now 3-0 against Coach Moyers and the Pike squad. Ted, great win tonight for the Center Grove Trojans. Again, not pretty, but when you get in the mix, it's physical, and you just find a way to win. And tonight, the Trojans are able to pull it out here in the second half.
W's are pretty any way you can get them. You know, the thing that Al Davis used to say, there's no truer thing than just win, baby. And you get in a dogfight like this against a really good football team, well coached, good athletes, and able to come out with a tough win. I mean, those are the things that separates Eric Moore's program from other programs that struggle. The one thing that you hate to see is, Max Norris looks like he's struggling walking out there right now. He's hurt. Lane Morris, you know what a tough kid that kid is, and he played the entire second half. He never had a carry, but they kept him out there to block and for his leadership and gutsy performance by him. But they definitely got some guys beat up out there tonight.
Coming up next, we will have the Allstate Insurance post-game show. Again, the final tonight. Center Grove hangs on to beat Pike 14-13. Center Grove perfect on the season, 4-0 overall and 3-0 in the MIC Conference. We'll take a break and be back with our post-game show. This is Center Grove Trojan football.
For just 2% of a typical school's budget, high school sports give us plenty of energy and excitement. For just 2%, they also give us young people whose leadership and commitment to excellence will pay big dividends in our community for years to come. 2%. That's one investment we can all feel good about. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure launching pad for life.
Appetizers, gentlemen.
I'll start with the steak tartare.
And you, sir?
I'll have the same. But hold the tartar sauce.
The tartar sauce? Really?
I don't like it.
The more you save on insurance, the more you'll have for football. Drivers who switch their home and auto to Allstate saved an average of $503 a year. Are you in good hands?
Ooh, creamy brulee.
Welcome back to Ray Skillman Stadium. The Center Grove Trojans victorious over the Pike Red Devils in a close one, 14-13, the final. Welcome to the Allstate Insurance postgame show, Bontrager Agency of Greenwood. The Bontrager Agency of Greenwood, led by Mr. John Bontrager and his family. They've been a part of the Greenwood Center Grove community for more than 17 years. John provides a high level of service for more than 2,500 customers. The Bontrager Agency is located at 395 South State Road 135, or contact the agency at 317-888-3200. You are in good hands with Allstate. Rick Embry now joins me on the postgame show, and Rick, like Ted said, a win's a win, and especially in the MIC Conference against a worthy opponent in the Pike Red Devils. We knew coming in they were big, they were fast, they were quick, and the Center Grove Trojans did everything they could to get 14 points on the board tonight, and that's enough as the difference comes down to a missed PAT kick by the Red Devils, and the Trojans hang on here late. 14-13 the final.
Well, you're right, Kevin. As we were looking at the stats and everything before the game, I just honestly felt like this was going to be the toughest game of the year, and it was for Center Grove. Pike's just loaded across the front. They got big kids. They run that spread offense well, and they obviously have playmakers, especially Dominic Booth out there at wide receiver. So we knew it was going to be a tough game. It turned out that way. You know, the first half was just an odd one, like Ted was talking about. At halftime, it's 7-0, but both teams were moving the ball up and down the field. So you were expecting more of a 21-20 or 28-27 game at halftime. Instead, it was 7-0. Pike did a good job of moving the ball down the field. The first possession of the second half immediately scored to tie the game. Center Grove did a good job of getting the ball back and punching it in themselves. And then the other thing that we noticed as we were looking at the stats and everything pregame was, and you pointed out, their kicker is not good. 11 out of 16 from PATs, and those should be automatic even at the high school level, and only one field goal for the year. So that's what it came down to. They missed the PAT. Center Grove moved the ball down. They got stopped, but then they got a good stop on defense and were able to run out the clock.
Also in the first half, a lot of miscues by the Pike Red Devils. I had them for 3 turnovers, a couple of interceptions, and a fumble. And Center Grove also had a turnover in the first half, and quite a few penalties tonight. Again, we saw this last week where some of these referees just do not like the way the Center Grove Trojans block. Maybe they are truly holding, but without watching game film, I'm not really for sure myself. But we saw a lot of holding calls, not only against Center Grove tonight,
Both
but
sides,
also
right.
for Pike as well. So something was going on on that O-line for both teams, and the officials seemed to like to call that holding penalty tonight.
Yeah, and there were huge calls. I mean, especially the roughing the punter call right there, and like you said, it was the right call. It's just a very difficult thing when the ball gets snapped 30 yards over the punter's head for you as a defensive player to pull up and not go full bore after that. But they didn't get a piece of it. O'Brien actually got a very good punt off. He kicked the ball about 50 yards from where he was as he was going back and trying to field the ball and turn around and punt it. So he got a good punt off, but roughing the punter there was huge first down for Center Grove. They were able to get a couple more first downs, get it deep inside Pike territory, and then the defense came up big at the end.
Quick scoring summary tonight. Center Grove scored first back in the first quarter, 7-0. Lee Klinker capped off a great opening drive for the Center Grove Trojans, actually their second drive of the ball game, and Klinker scored on a 2-yard touchdown run, made it 7-0. Pike, though, responded in the second quarter. They got a touchdown in the second quarter. Actually, I'm sorry, they didn't score until third quarter. My bad. It was 7-0 at halftime. But anyway, they scored in the third quarter. It was the opening drive of that third quarter. They came out, very impressive drive, and tied the game at 7 apiece. And then the fourth quarter, Center Grove with Luke Albert scores again. A situation where he tried to pass, couldn't, ran the football. Great decision by Luke, being a senior, ran it from 7 yards out to put Center Grove in front, 14-7. And then the Red Devils, again late in the game, about less than 5 minutes to play, score a touchdown on Lyles, their quarterback. He scores the second touchdown of the night for himself to pull it within 14-13. Again, they missed the PAT, and that's the difference in tonight's ball game. Talk about the Center Grove defense tonight. Again, I felt like they were put in some difficult positions tonight, but they, again, come up with some big plays.
Yeah, that's a very difficult offense to go against. I mean, we talked about not only the way that they spread you out and have those wide receivers and a pretty decent quarterback who can also run, but then they have the running backs back there, and several times that's a hurry-up offense, and they're able to get a lot of plays in, and it's very difficult. And that defense, like you said, was put in some tough positions. The first half they were able to force 3 turnovers, but they just came up, especially in that last drive, getting quarterback pressure and causing Lyles to have to get out of the pocket where he wasn't as comfortable as he is when he's got time to throw. And you know, it always starts with those front four, and Dylan Dallas and Amaro were in the backfield all night. Came up with a couple big plays. Ackerman, again, was huge. Not only had an interception to throw it to or drive in the first half, but then he has just several big hits on those wide receivers, which causes them to not want to come across the middle.
Rick, next week at Lawrence Central, team that put Center Grove out last year in the state tournament in the Semi-State right here at Center Grove High School, and it could be 1 versus 2. Again, Lawrence Central getting a late start tonight at Lucas Oil Stadium against Carmel. So the Trojans definitely will be the number 2 team at least. But if Lawrence Central loses tonight, Center Grove will move to that top spot.
That should be a fantastic matchup next week, Kevin. Another very difficult matchup on the road for Center Grove. I mean, they've already won at Warren. They've already won at Carmel. And now they have to go to LC, who's probably going to be number 1 will be number 1 if they beat Carmel tonight. So another very difficult matchup. It's also going to be interesting to see how Center Grove heals this week. I mean, their top 3 backs were out by the end of that game. Hudson was out. Norris got hurt, and like we talked about, Lane Morris didn't come out, but he was clearly limping around there, and they had him in there as a decoy and a block. So be interesting to see how that happens and what happens this week. It was nice to see those backup running backs, and that's what has to happen. Is Klinker came in and ran well, Daggett came in and ran very well. So very tough matchup next week on the road for Center Grove.
Rick, great win tonight for the Trojans. We'll take the show to Lawrence Central next Friday night. Thanks for your help. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Kevin. You too.
Tonight's game was produced by Center Grove Gridiron Productions, New 5 Creative, and CenterGroveSportsNetwork.com. The executive director is Aaron Holt, executive producer Matt Murray. Production assistants tonight, couple of them, Kyle Johnson and Austin Tiki, doing a great job with our camera tonight, and statistician John Moore. Special thanks to Center Grove Athletic Director John Zwitt and head football coach Eric Moore, and Pike head coach Derek Moyers for their help with tonight's broadcast. Once again, Center Grove tonight hanging on to beat the Pike Red Devils 14-13. Center Grove perfect on the season at 4-0, 3-0 in the conference. For Pike, they fall to 2-2 on the season, 1-1 in league play. The Trojans are at number 1 Lawrence Central Friday night at 7 o'clock for a conference game. Pike is at Lucas Oil Stadium for a 7:30 league game against Ben Davis. Until Friday night, this is Kevin Conrad for Ted Kitchell and Rick Embry saying good night, everyone, from Ray Skillman Stadium.